There you go. All right, actual start. Three, two, one. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 307 of the KBMOD podcast. It is January 14th. I'm Katie Zen. I'm joined by Tim, aka Staffu Noob, aspiring
Hello.
streamer and content maker. He's here with us.
Aspiring.
Aspiring.
He's
Not
new.
obvious.
It's his first week.
Well, I mean, he's just building himself up, so you know.
Gotta make it big.
You're
I'm gonna
bigger
quit
than
my
me.
job.
Quit your day job. Yeah, he's here. He's with us. Award-winning mustache. He's made it. We've also got with us legendary, infamous streamer, content creator, All Sham No Wow, has returned.
All right, that I am not that big.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be nice, man.
Like,
but
if Tim is aspiring, I'm like mediocre.
fledgling. No,
That's a good word. Yes.
fledgling streamer. I'm sure that name is taken on Twitch, but it's a good name. Fledgling streamer. Anyway.
On life support streamer.
Yeah, that's basically what this is. This isn't going to make its way anywhere into the audio version, but I just want everyone to know this is the second take we had. My instinct was to hit record after, we always do, 3, 2, 1, start. I said 3, 2, 1, and I hit stop streaming on OBS, which is just a classic from just a high quality stream. But we're in here, we're reformed, and we're going to have a great podcast. So how's everybody doing? I know it's been a while
great.
since
I'm
either
doing
of you.
pretty good.
I haven't had a good laugh like that in a while,
Yeah,
so
that
that
was
yeah,
pretty
no.
funny. Yeah.
was a good start.
What
to
really
everything.
sucks is that none of that made it onto the VOD because it was all
What?
off stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the laughing for
I
sure. But
laughed
the 3, 2, 1, stop. I mean, that's just classic right there.
Right. Yeah. I hope some of it made it on there.
Just imagine someone doing something as dumb as hitting stop streaming.
Yeah, it's
Isn't that really funny?
it explains itself. But yeah. Then we are what, 2 weeks into the new year now? Everybody been doing good? Doing well? Yeah. Yeah,
I can't complain. I have another holiday coming
Just
up for
another
work.
day,
So.
dude.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. So I guess we'll get right into what we've been eating this week. What we've been playing. Any noteworthy dishes?
What
Thing.
we've been eating? I didn't know that. Okay.
That is
This
something that we've started doing like for a while now. We always talk about pretty much we always say what we've been doing and what we've been gaming, and recently we've been doing like what we've been eating because we've been having some like noteworthy dishes to have, I guess. So I don't know. I usually don't have much to report on. Anything?
Yeah. What do you have? What have you had like in the
What have I
past
had?
week?
I just said I don't have anything to report on.
Nothing. Great
Well, I mean,
segment.
I mean, there's
So-
been some good food. My parents are great cooks. I had this like shrimp soup with like homemade like really good grilled cheese. That was delicious.
Paired
And,
together.
No, not together. Well, I mean, I had them like not.
Just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I had like the sandwiches
He's
and
not
the
a
soup.
savage, Tim.
I didn't dip it in the soup, but no. I mean, those were really tasty, but nothing really adventurous. But
I've recently discovered. I mean, all our local pizza places are garbage, but they don't do just pizza. They do like hoagies and other shit like that.
yeah,
And there's this one that they bring their lunch specials into work, like just their menu. So I started ordering from there. And their fries, I don't know how they make them, but they remind me of high school fries. And those were the like best French fries I've ever had in my life. So I've been ordering those nonstop.
I did not have
all
the
week.
same experience in high school.
Really? Ours were
Oh,
delicious in
no.
high school. I think they put them through an air fryer.
They
so
were
it's just
very
like,
bland. I don't know.
Really?
They tasted like they were still in the freezer. It was
That's not good.
good.
no, these ones are they just like the perfect crispiness to them. They're not too soggy, but they're not too like, they're just like they got a nice crunch to them, but they're soft in the middle, and they were just they were wonderful. So I've
love
been ordering those a lot
deconstructing
lately.
Fries. Yes. This is good.
But other than that, I mean, nothing major for me. Just the
okay.
standard. I work by Taco Bell, so I mean, sometimes you gotta get that. and hate your life afterwards.
It's very notable stuff.
Yeah, speaking of
I mean,
fries, Taco Bell making that addition pretty soon.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're
have
adding,
they not done it yet? Is that still like coming soon?
Right,
Yeah.
I
We're
think
gonna
it's,
learn how to make fries. We still haven't figured that one out yet. I don't know. Do you cut up the potato? That seems really odd.
Yeah, that's
we're gonna try that.
Just cut
But
the-
you're gonna have to give us a few months to test this out.
What are they
Yeah.
gonna pair it with? That's
Yeah.
my question. Like,
Nothing. There's nothing on a
There's
Taco
nothing to
Bell
pair
menu
them
that
with.
goes with fries.
Hmm.
they're just gonna put them on the tacos. That's,
They don't even serve ketchup at Taco Bell. What are you gonna?
That's right. Yeah.
true.
None of their sauces go with fries, unless somebody else has tried like using Taco Bell sauce with their fries and can report back that it's not bad. I mean, they have potatoes that you can put inside of your tacos and stuff. I've done that. It's not bad.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
For me personally,
Yeah.
I feel like fries can almost like complement anything. So for me, I don't get too like artisan with it. It's just good food with good food. So, but I mean, I'll try them. It's not gonna be like, I'm sure they'll just be good fries. Like,
That's
I love
whoa,
my
yeah.
favorite thing. My favorite thing is how just how boring we all are that the idea of Taco Bell after fries have been around for literal decades. They
Yeah.
finally decided to bring around fries, and everybody's like, yeah,
It's a
I think I'll
riot.
go to Taco Bell to try their fries. Motherfucker, just do something else with your life. Don't go to Taco Bell to get fries. What are you doing with your time?
It's true.
They're just potatoes.
But they're in strips and they're
oh man, you think people are going to Taco Bell just for the fries now? Like, not even for the tacos?
As soon as they're released, you can bet your ass if you went in there and you just sat in Taco Bell for a couple of hours, you would see every single person order fries to try them. That's how goofy we are as people.
Definitely. No, I mean they go to Taco Bell for the Baja Blast, but then they'll get the fries because why not? They're there.
Right.
We consider French fries at a place that did not previously had French fries as a new life experience to
It's
enjoy.
gonna change
Life
America.
changing, revolutionary. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if anything, if you're like me personally, there's not a lot of Mexican food I enjoy. Like, I like tacos. I like the chicken quesadilla they have, but so fries will be better for me. It's like I don't do spicy food too well.
Mhm.
So
I'm the same way. Yeah. I can't
Everyone's
handle
saying
spice.
cheese fries in chat, and I guess they have a good point of what they have
Okay.
there to put on fries.
Yeah, but I guess if you're gonna order cheese fry, I don't know. I wouldn't pair cheese fries with a taco though, unless you're just going there for the cheese fries.
Right.
If you're doing it, whatever, I don't care. Have the fries. I'm not gonna judge you.
I feel like you already have judged them.
Have the fries however you want. I don't care. Put them on your taco. It's not my stomach that's got to deal with the problem afterwards. Have you guys seen how many different types of Oreos there are? I was having this discussion
No.
in my Discord because somebody was like, have you guys seen these random
There are a
Oreos? And I'm
bunch of
like, dude, I
flavors.
was just at Wegmans. There's like hot cinnamon Oreos. There's
what?
oh shit. There's like Nutella Oreos, but they didn't do a crossover with the brand Nutella, so it's just chocolate hazelnut Oreos. So I don't know.
Huh.
They seem to come out with a new
PSA, do not eat
flavor.
them.
Yeah, don't eat the chocolate hazelnut. They are disgusting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Especially the cinnamon Oreos. That just sounds.
Yeah, I don't know how
terrible.
cinnamon and Oreo is supposed to go together.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they seem to come out with a new flavor like every month.
List of Oreo varieties. I just
Right.
want an
Oh,
idea.
that's a good
my
thing.
Oh, you did
fucking
research?
god, this goes on forever.
I know there's like the mint stuff, the red velvet stuff, which I mean those are pretty good, but I'm sure they're just a ton.
There's
Who
Swedish
puts
fish?
the entries into
Swedish
this Wikipedia
fish
page?
Oreos? Hold on. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Swedish fish are already what's the word that I'm looking for? The most watered down, just boring fucking candy flavor
Oh my
that exists on the
God.
planet. And then to put it into an Oreo.
That sounds so bad. Swedish fish Oreos. Sounds like hot
Lime-made
tamale
Oreos.
Oreos.
I'm not sure these are still around. These are just all they have been out there at some point.
I'm just thinking of random compliments to Oreo cookies, and they probably exist. Like, I'm thinking Sour Patch Oreo cookies. Those probably exist.
Coming soon, new limited flavors including cherry cola Oreo, kettle corn Oreo, pina colada Oreo
no.
thins are planned for a May
Oh.
2018 release.
No.
Jesus Christ. Can I
Okay,
pre-order
so
those?
I just found out the new nasty food reading at Land next year, though. And that it's all these Oreos.
Over the year of 2017, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different Oreo flavors.
Jesus Christ.
And then we've just had 2 that were released on January 1st, 2018. So we're starting off strong.
Wow.
How do they get away with this?
The 2 time.
And one of those from last year was the Peeps Oreo, which I never tried, but I can only imagine how gross that was.
No,
yeah.
I'm not a fan of Peeps in general.
Also, the Dunkin' Donuts Mocha Oreo that just sounds so sickly sweet. Waffles and syrup Oreo.
You know, the Dunkin' Donuts. Wait, say that title again. What was that flavor?
Dunkin' Donuts Mocha Oreo.
Okay.
So I guess it tastes like a mocha latte or something, but it's already so sweet on its own.
I'm sure they have like coffee.
Maybe they balance it out, but
I would try a coffee Oreo. You know?
I like that. If it's not an Oreo, they call it Beyond Sandwich Cookies. Like it's a new frontier. Like we're escaping the Milky Way galaxy, the Oreo sandwich galaxy, and we're going beyond sandwich cookies.
Wow.
So Oreo fudge rings and fudge sundae cream, and oh god, there's so many things. Have you guys ever tried the Oreo pudding?
No, I haven't.
The Jello Oreo pudding.
No.
Jello?
God.
I don't eat Jello often.
Well, Jello is the brand.
Jello
is a brand name.
I guess I have had it on like the Oreo cream pie, like cakes, like
could see that
pies,
being
or you want to get.
You know,
like,
that's probably what it's kind of like. Yeah.
I think that might be good. Like, I mean, I like the taste of Oreo cookies, so I think, you know, it's hard to fuck that up in just, you know, another form, I guess, pudding. Huh. I feel like
stop suggesting things like black licorice Oreos. Just stop this chat right now. Skittle Oreos. This is
oh no. Lucky Charms Oreos, Captain Crunch Oreos. There's like a cereal crossover.
There's Fruity Pebble one back in October that they did. So
wow, the jokes are becoming. I feel like we've gone from talking about food to like describing an episode of Black Mirror. Basically. Just all these satanic Oreo flavors.
That's the funniest thing about it, is that I could totally see a Black Mirror episode about like 30 years in the future. Oreo has just gone fucking absurd, and everybody's concerned about what Oreo is doing to their cookies.
Every single food is now in Oreo form. Like you're in a cheesecake factory,
and that's the only food available.
Yeah, you go to Red Lobster, be like, yeah, I'll get the a linguine Alfredo, and they just give you a set of Oreo cookies. And you eat them, you're like, no, that was delicious. And there's just one man in the entire like country.
Oreo is the new Soylent.
He's like, why are we living like this? And he's like trying to fight people. It's like, you're going against the way of things, man. Just let us have our Oreos. God, that sounds like a great Oreo fan fiction.
That is... Jesus Christ.
Anyways, so let's get into something a little less atrocious. Hopefully, you haven't been playing some atrocious video games. I don't know about Sham. You've played some shitters in your life. But what have we been playing this week?
This week's been pretty tame.
Okay.
I've been fucking around with NBA 2K18, which is a bad game. Okay, it's a really greedy, terrible video game that fucks with you on every level and just wants you to buy VC. No matter what you do, you can't get it to stop. But I still play it because Scott started doing it and he decided to do it without using VC or purchasing it to upgrade his character. So I thought that I would do the same and see if I could progress better than he did, which he got to the conference finals with the 76ers, which is a fucking miracle feat in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then he lost to the Cavaliers, which was an obvious thing. He was going to get dumped on by the fucking AI once he got to the conference finals. That's just going to happen. And so I'm trying to like best his overall and hopefully get into the finals, the NBA finals in my rookie year and just show him up.
Okay.
It's been a fun ride. I don't know if you've ever played one of those games. But
Played them the NHL games where you can like
mhm.
create your pro, but
Well,
like they
do
don't give you the whole
do
story
they
and
like
stuff.
is that a 2K series, the NHL thing, or
No,
is
it's
that
it's an EA
separate?
series.
Oh, okay.
Oh
So if you've played 2K since like I don't, it may be 2K14, 2K13, you know they ham fist a really bad story mode into the my player shit.
yeah,
This is they are really upping themselves on being terrible every year because in 2016, the last time I played one, they had Spike Lee do the story. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I heard about that.
2K17, I don't know. I didn't play that one. I avoided it. And then this
Wow.
one is I don't know. There's not really any words for it. It just the characters are every single one of them is grating. They're the worst kind of stereotypical character of that
Really?
type. They just
great.
overwrote everything to be so obnoxious. It's really hard to get through.
Wow.
It's a fucking struggle.
I don't like this sports games adding in like a single player like story mode
Oh no,
experience.
it's such a
thing.
waste of development time.
It's just
Yeah.
like
for something that people
It's
just want a
bad.
good sports simulation to waste everybody's time with
Mhm.
ham-fisted fucking story mode cutscenes that like once you get past the intro, they start to not make sense because you have to like go into places to trigger them, and you can avoid triggering them forever. And then the conversations these people have should have happened like months ago, but now they're just happening. I don't know. It's really stupid. I shouldn't even be giving it any airtime. It's not worth the breath.
It's not even worth
but yeah,
mentioning.
here we are.
Okay.
But yeah,
Anything
I've been
else?
playing PUBG. Other than that,
Oh, okay.
I think that's really it. Oh yeah, Weed Shop 2. If you've heard of Weed Shop 2,
I've not heard of that.
Yeah.
No.
There's a sequel to that now.
It's a great Steam game that's it's like a clicker mobile game, but they give you a little bit of free. They give you freedom. You're able to walk around and go outside, and there's other characters that come in and they interact with you. But it is essentially a clicker game. You just play to upgrade your weed shop and your capability of growing weed and selling it to people. That's
So
the
it's like
only
a-
objective is to.
But you got to grind it right. You got to roll everything properly.
So you
gotta-
can, yeah. Well, what happens is you can grow the plants, and then you can just sell off that, or you can make free samples. Yeah, you can get a rolling table and make samples that you go out and you give to people, and then that entices them to come to your shop. It's like one of the parts of the game is promoting through rolling joints and giving them to people outside at the beach.
That seems
You
like
should. It's actually pretty funny for.
I've
about
seen
an
this game
hour.
played before. Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like something to kill.
It's so grindy.
Or-
It's extremely grindy. If you want to get like some of the screenshots that you'll see on the Steam page, you don't get to fucking do that for a while. Like you can see the hydroponics setup. Yeah, good fucking luck. You got to have like $50 billion to afford that thing.
The
Wow.
Weed Pro 8000.
Weed Pro. That sounds like an instant download. Is it free on Steam or is it
It's $10.
it's $10?
Yeah, it was $10.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's worth it.
I think I bought it on sale during the. I think it was half off, and I bought it with
Okay.
wallet money during the Steam sale.
Gotcha. It's trading card. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome. Tim, what about you?
Me, what have I been playing? I got back into Gwent recently with their midwinter update.
I saw you
How
play.
is that? I haven't heard anything about Gwent.
Gwent is the card game, like the card mini game from The Witcher 3, and they turned it into its own standalone card game. So it plays nothing like it did in The Witcher 3, but it's being made by CD Projekt Red, so they're trying to take care of it. But there was a lot of drama around it because they released it right before Christmas, and then they went on holiday for Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff.
So
And
no
there was
bug
just a lot
fixes
of-
or anything?
There was a lot of bugs. There was a lot of server issues at first, but they got those fixed. And then just balance-wise, I mean, they released 100 cards at a time, like that with this update, where they normally update, like release 20 at a time.
Mhm.
So they released 5 times what they're normally like used to releasing. And there was just like a lot of balancing stuff and a lot of bug issues that kind of popped up that they haven't truly addressed yet. So people are growing restless. But I don't know. I have faith they're going to kind of bring it all back around because they're gearing everything towards their single player experience they're going to have for the actual game. called Thronebreaker, and it's gonna be like another like Witcher story where you play as Geralt, but you just go around and you play Gwent instead of battling monsters and shit like that. So
I'm just tired. I'm putting the sword down.
yeah, I mean that's pretty
Get
much
your
how the
deck out,
series
dude.
ended. So, but it's I like it. It's a fun game. The artwork is beautiful. The animations of the cards are beautiful, but um, they have been kind of caught off, like they kind of caught everyone off guard, and they haven't really been speaking out much, so people are like losing their faith in them. But
Yeah, and I guess it's too early to know like how the meta is and how well, what's their monetization thing like? Is it a free to play game with?
It's free to play, and you buy the card packs, card kegs is what they are. So
yeah, because
really
after
generous,
Hearthstone just completely turning into like a fun Frankenstein's monster that nobody can get into anymore. Like I'm just so wary of card games now.
Yeah, no, it's still, I mean, with the release of like all these cards, it's a little bit harder to get all of the cards, especially if you're starting off new, but it's still very free to play friendly because if you win 6, like how the game works is you have to win 2 rounds to win a game.
Oh, okay.
And how they're, and I'm not going to go into like the rules and how to play Gwent itself.
I want the deep dive, dude. Every single detail.
No, it's like it's how it is. You draw your cards. There's 3 rounds in a game. It can go like one person wins a round, the other person wins a round, and then you win the last round.
Okay.
It's usually how it plays out. It goes the full 3 rounds. But their daily reward system is if you win 6 rounds, then you get a free keg. And you get enough ore to buy a keg, which then gives you 5 cards. So like it's pretty easy to get about 4 or 5 kegs a day if you put in like 2 hours of game time.
Okay.
So it's still a pretty easy, like free to play friendly game. And then their ranked rewards for the end of the season are really, really generous. So even if you put some time in the ranked system, like you'll play against people with cards that, are comparable to how many cards you have and your skill and all that stuff. So it's worthwhile playing. If you were interested in the Witcher universe or the mini game that was in the actual game, it's a lot better than it was. So
okay,
but like I said, there's our issues.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see like that come out, and then Artifact eventually just
Artifact should be
like competitions, so these card games can stop being so just like wallet destroyers.
That's the Dota card game, right?
Artifact? Yeah, that's the Dota one.
Right.
The issue with Hearthstone now is just like they crank out expansions so much and so quick that like if you aren't on top of it, it's impossible to get back into it. Like it's one of those games where you have to keep playing it or else you're gonna be left behind. And I haven't played that since closed beta for it. So
oh really?
I'm never touching that again.
Yeah, Hearthstone is a game I've like wanted to put a lot of time into, but it's just like the time it takes to build up for your deck or your pool of cards and resources. This point. Yeah, I feel like it's just too far gone for me.
I played on release for quite a while, but then fell off before the first expansion came out, and then I fell off for even longer. And I started only playing whenever they would do like a tie-in for getting like the WoW mount that nobody uses. But it was like, I just want to add another number to my mount collection, so I'll get this real quick. Play 3 matches. So I have been out for all of the expansions, and I don't think there's any way that I could possibly get into the game without spending a ton of money to catch up in cards. And I mean, as much as I love the Warcraft setting and the music and the art design for everything that's in that game, it's just I can't bring myself to reinstall it and do it.
And that's just like that's the nature of card games though in general. I feel like that's why I'm staying up on Gwent like I didn't play it for a few months, but like I knew the midwinter update was coming out. It was gonna be a big update, so I came back and played and got my rank up before that came out, so I could obviously get a bunch of kegs for free to get all the new cards and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I worry that Gwent's gonna go that direction too because they do plan on releasing more and more cards as the lifespan of it goes on. And it's just one of the things where it's like it's hard not to. I don't know, like unless they do stuff like booster packs where you can like buy like a set deck that goes like behind like an archetype, then it's going to be hard for people to get into the game and really truly enjoy it after it being out for so long. So, but other than that, I've been playing.
Kind of bridge that you've got to make whenever you start releasing so many expansions. You got to be able to get something that people can use to kind of catch up. I don't know. It's hard to kind of balance it because then you don't. It's balancing the. kind of ruining the experience of the people who were there during it and maybe spent more money or just more time, and then helping people who are just now coming in. I mean, to be fair, it's like if you were there when it came out, you got the experience, you got to be in there when it was new. That's enough reward on its own to not worry about somebody getting it for a little bit cheaper later on, or just something that helps them get up to speed on what's new. I don't know. I think there's kind of a balance that you got to draw there. But with card games, yeah, there's so many
tough.
cards that it's so fucking hard to do.
It's tough. Like the only way I can think of is with, like I said, like with booster packs, because like you see like Yu-Gi-Oh, or like even the Pokemon card, like the physical card games that come out with like the quote unquote, like, you know, you can buy a deck pretty much, and it's like designed around a specific type of play style, but you know, it gives you at least a fighting chance to start off until you start building your collection up otherwise. So that's the only way I can think of Hearthstone.
Shit.
I'm gonna really get it. Like you
Okay,
will have
you're
to
there.
drop some money, but
Just
That's scary. You just kind of lagged out of it. We're good.
oh well.
I thought my computer crashed, and I'm like freaking out. Like I don't want to deal with this shit. But no, just man, when you mentioned Pokemon, that brought back some PTSD. I got to a phase when, like, after like starting college, I was like, wait a minute, I have a job now. I can buy all the Pokemon cards I fucking want to, and that was a terrible decision. Now,
God, I stopped collecting Pokemon cards so early into my childhood that I don't even remember what I had.
Oh yeah.
If I even really had anything. You were doing this shit in the college? Like, I gave up on Pokemon when I was like 11 years old.
Well, the thing is, like, I played it a lot when I was a kid, and I have like a binder full of cards that was basically like the first generation of Pokemon. Then absolutely nothing. And then I get to college and I'm like getting this long lost joy of opening packs. So there's like a huge gap in like Pokemon. And then I'm like, I'm spending so much money on these fucking cards, wanting a rare, even though like nobody plays the Pokemon card game that I know. I don't think anyone in Indiana
I never
plays
did.
it. Right. Like at Ivy, I was going like Ivy Tech at the time, and actually that's how I started getting into Magic in college, because nobody played fucking Pokemon. Like it just wasn't
money in that game.
Oh yeah.
When I was growing up, it was all about collecting the card and then just watching the anime with a group of people.
Right.
That's how it was for us.
I mean, we were old enough to understand how to play the game. It was very simplistic, but none of us wanted to learn how to play the game because we all had that. Because didn't a lot of packs come with the foldable like little paper board that you used to play on?
I think so.
Yeah, big packs did.
Yeah, those things in
had about
garbage.
20 of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't even use them. But yeah, there's one thing I do look back on, because I look at all my cards, I'm like, oh, I've got a decent amount of rares. These are worth, some money. So I guess it's not like a total loss, but I thought about getting into like the online card game for Pokemon, I guess. And
that's pay to win as fuck.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I would imagine so.
I tried. It's stupid, and like
I think
there's
it would
no
be
sort of
very
MMR
surprising.
like matchmaking. It is
Really?
like my very first thing. Like I got my whatever starter deck you can get.
They're
If I can go in and a guy drops a fucking Mew and a Mewtwo on me, and I'm like, fuck this shit. All the four, I'm done.
Best thing
His
is
whole
your
deck
deck
is
is a
nothing but
fucking,
Mew
like,
and Mewtwo. You didn't even get to see the whole deck, which is
No.
just that.
I just saw those drop, and I'm like, done. I'm no.
And the
Fuck it.
decks they give you are like, ooh, you get him a choke, everybody. And that's supposed to, no. But yeah, I know what you mean. I have like about, I think 50 of those code cards, because every pack came with like a code where you open a pack for the CG. So if I ever just want to clean house online, let's redeem all those.
Dude,
No.
you know what? This whole time, like, I've lived a long life, and there's something that I've been preparing for. I've been collecting Pokemon cards for the last 15 years.
It's finally
time. I have not redeemed any of my codes that would give me the equal card in the TCG game. And today is the day that I destroy the earth.
Sirens are going off in Nintendo
every
headquarters.
redemption code. The website's gonna crash, and the whole Pokemon world's gonna come tumbling down.
He's got like 50 EX cards. What's happening?
What the fuck?
We can't ban him.
Where did he get him? Did he get
Look at the holographics.
The servers are frozen. Again, the forums, they're like, who the fuck is this kid? He's killing everybody.
He's a legend.
And your account name
Basically,
is just
basically the Yu-Gi-Oh timeline for the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
right.
That's
Yeah,
what it is.
your account name is just Frost231. That's an APLG.
We all lived in a Pokemon world until that day.
Man, that sounds like another great fan fiction.
Yeah, we're just turning out the ideas. It's just your guys' job to run with it and bring us back the product.
Yeah, but card games are cool, man. A lot of my friends have like, it was 2 years ago that Magic hit me, and then I got out of it, and now like everyone in my friend group is like, oh, we're all getting into Magic, everybody. The time is now. And then like, wait, David, you play Magic? Yeah, I have a shitty deck, so it's fun. But I definitely get a Hearthstone. I actually completely forgot that Tim was telling us what he played this week. Let's actually get back on track here.
Well, he was on Gwent.
That's all right. Gwent,
Yeah.
and then
Giant ass tangent.
then Persona 5. I've been playing through that.
Ooh, how far are
It's
you in
super. I just got done with the Fourth Palace.
that?
So
Okay.
a little over halfway, I probably feel. I don't know. I don't fucking
I
know.
probably feel. I'm probably wrong.
Game's forever. That game is. I'm 60 hours in that game. 30,000 other games are already completed 3 times over by this point, and
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't even touched the surface of this game, to be honest.
It
But
is a ridiculously huge game. It's like
it's
I haven't finished
it's
it, but I've heard it's like
daunting.
100 hours to finish, and there's new game plus shit to do. So
I'm not doing that.
yeah, I'm looking up the fucking
I'm not
playthrough and I'm
doing
done, dude.
I'm trying to finish that before this next game I'm gonna talk about. But I enjoy it. I just feel like with that game, like it's very high school simulator ish at times.
What the
and I'm
fuck
just
was
like,
that?
What was just flying by on your camera?
Is that,
Hold on, I'm watching.
is that a
Yeah,
bat?
what was that? Yeah, I'm watching the
What was
screen.
that?
It just flew across.
It's like, is there a tree behind your setup and like a leaf just like blew through?
I don't know.
What
I'm scared of
happened?
anything. Well, fuck.
Sorry
I'm
about
dead.
that.
It went over to the side with your fight stick.
All right,
Like
well,
it just
weird.
flew over
I'll
there.
keep an eye out for something.
Are you in a cave? Did like a bat fly by?
Maybe.
Sorry.
If I start echolocating, don't worry.
Right, yeah.
This is the start. This is the start of a paranormal thread that we're gonna make, and this is the
Shit.
beginning. Something flying behind
Beginning
him. We're gonna
Oh man.
of
make
the
a
end.
believable story out of it.
I'm not taking my eyes
Lord.
off your camera. I'm interested.
But the game's very high school sim. I'm not in love with the game. I'm enjoying that I'm playing it and I'm having my time with it, but it's not something I can truly say I love. And I think the big reason is because there's just so much time in between like the combat stuff.
Right.
Like there's a lot of time in between the combat stuff. And I love the combat of that game, and I love the weakening stuff and then doing like the team special move or whatever, or like interrogate them for money or to, like for the monsters personas to like work for you and all that stuff. I love all that aspect. It's just the everything in between. Like it's fun. It's really well done. I wish there was less of it. And that's my big gripe with the game, I guess.
It's cool, but
It's cool. Just, I want less.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to kill things now.
right.
But it's been fun. And then other than that, it's just been playing what I can of the Dragon Ball Fighter Z beta. It's been the idea for the beta was to bust their servers, and they have been.
I was
bent
about to
over.
ask,
Succeeded.
have you been able to play?
They have been bent.
Even a little.
I've played probably a total of like 12 matches now online against other people.
Yeah, I saw you streaming this morning.
I was streaming this morning on KBMOD. It was all just training mode. I didn't get in any matches, but we watched some of my matches from last night.
Man.
That I did get into, because there's a replay feature, so you can watch back your own matches. You can watch matches that other people have done.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
that's really nice that's in there.
cool.
So like you can watch back on your own stuff, see what you've done, or if you want to watch high level players, just find their name, watch their matches. So
Baby, that is sick. That is really
yeah,
cool.
so
Actually,
you can do it all within the game. The gameplay is a lot of fun. Like itself, it's made by Arxis, and they make Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, and they make quality games, but they've never made a game that's been hyped up this much. So they're learning what it is to have a really popular game, and I really hope they just get the server issues figured out before the release. I hope they extend the beta a little bit so we can play more online, just to test the online stuff more. But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, and like, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and you aren't into fighters, I feel like you'll still enjoy it because it's gonna have its own single player story. You can mess around with friends who all like just want to play it and just stick around because it's super easy to do flashy shit in that game. Like there's one button combos for both the light attacks and the medium attacks. If you do the medium attack auto combo, just by spamming the medium attack button, it'll end with a super, so it looks fucking fantastic. And it's a good time. It's honestly a good time. I plan to make it serious as much as possible. I mean, with the full-time job and all that shit, but I think it'll be a good time because I plan to travel at least to 3 major tournaments this year for it. I want to go to CEO, which is in Daytona Beach this year, Combo Breaker, which is in Chicago, and then Evo, obviously, just because Evo's in Vegas.
We have a legitimate esports athlete on the
Maybe.
cast.
I'm gonna go 0-2 in all of them, but it's gonna be great at the same time.
I'm gonna have so much fun.
It's gonna be so much fun getting bodied, but just being like, I went to Evo 2 years ago, and that was like the hypest experience I've ever been a part of. Like, I've been to professional sports events, and nothing beats like being in an arena for top 8 for a fighting game. It was so fucking amazing
because everyone there is so passionate about it.
Yeah, exactly. So like cool. I sat there from the beginning for Mortal Kombat up to, not Mortal Kombat, we missed Mortal Kombat, but from Marvel till the end, we sat there. We didn't leave our seats, but it was a good time. It's a good time indeed. So I want to go to more of those events because like that community is just passionate about their games, and being around that passion is just kind of a good time. So like I said, I'm gonna get my ass beat, but it'll be a good time.
Oh yeah, the experience. So good.
Yeah.
And I have a really weird question.
What's up?
When you were at Evo, and you said you were there for the last day, and you saw everything, right?
Yeah.
Did you stay long enough to be freed?
Yeah, they played it up on the big screen.
Oh, okay, good. Was everybody saying it in the crowd?
I believe that they played it. Maybe they didn't play it on the big screen stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because Spooky wasn't streaming Street Fighter. It was Capcom on the Capcom channel. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just love the past couple Evos, and I'm sure more than the past couple, but the past I've seen, I've always loved sticking around to the end and seeing just like, because they smartly do it where you can hear the crowd scream, "You're all free now." Also,
yeah,
it's just the coolest thing. So yeah,
I can't remember now. It was a long day, but I can't remember now. Cool, but it was a good time. It was a good time for sure.
Okay,
I will be out in Indianapolis actually at the end of April because there's a tournament going on out there. I plan on coming out for.
Let's do it.
So,
is there a tournament in Indianapolis?
Yeah, it'll be a tournament. It's not a major, but it's
oh, let's go, baby.
You know, Midwest. It's easy to get to Indianapolis. So.
You're gonna regret your trip, and I wipe the fucking floor with you. With this Kid Boo and this Beerus.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know who the fuck I'm playing. Like it's a 3v3 game. I'm rocking Team Gohan for sure, just for character loyalty.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I have no fucking clue who else I'm gonna rock. Because yesterday I was rocking Beerus, Kid Boo, and Vegeta, and tonight I tried out Android 18, Frieza, and Nappa, and I really like Android 18 and Frieza. Like they played really nice, and they work like their stuff works well together.
That's what's hard for me about it is the triple team thing. Like it's just so visually intimidating to have that many characters that you flip through.
Yeah. It is. It can be, but even that, like to call in someone new is just one button. Like,
yeah.
Right.
I'm sure if I just like sat down with a game like that, I've just never played, like a Marvel versus Capcom, something that works with a 3-person team kind of system. Just never done anything like that. So I'm sure if I sat down with it for an hour, then I'd be fine. It wouldn't be a big deal. But
yeah,
I just never stick to fighting games. I don't know. I can't do it.
They're a commitment. They are a commitment to really, truly try and get good at them. But like I said, this one was easy to, like I said, to get into. It's super simple on the surface to hop in with people who are just fans of, Dragon Ball Z or whatever and don't really play fighting games. You can just hop in, like I said, spam one button, do supers, and just fucking pop off with each other. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it.
Awesome.
But other than that, I haven't played shit. Just those 3 long-ass, drawn-out games.
Okay, cool. Hey, man, all the time you want to talk. But yeah, I tried to play Dragon Ball FighterZ. I really tried. I sat down and fucking spammed it, but no, the servers, they weren't too happy. They weren't too kind to me.
So you weren't even able to get one match.
No, I was not. I just watched a lot of footage, and then I popped in Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 because it's close. It's close to Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's the game they made before it, so that's a game that I really love. But what stops me from putting a lot of time into it, because I've been thinking about like putting a lot of time into a certain game. Street Fighter 5 doesn't really grab me. Tekken 7, all the juggling and everything like that, and the controls of that game just didn't grab me either. And I love Guilty Gear, not purely because it's anime as fuck, but I love the way it plays because it reminds me a lot of like Skullgirls. That's one of my favorite fighting games. But I think about Guilty Gear, nobody knows what the fuck Guilty Gear is. So that's why I'm really excited to.
And knows what it's all about.
That's true. Yeah, I just gotta move to Japan, dude. That's the solution.
I bought Guilty Gear when it was I had sold some CS skins and I bought it on sale and I still haven't installed it.
Oh yeah, which
like
Guilty
I'm
Gear?
such a fucking idiot. The Revelator,
Oh, okay, cool.
Revelator, whatever.
Oh man,
Yeah, I bought that. It was like half off during the Christmas sale. The last time I played a fighting game I think was Street Fighter 5, and I played that for like 2 hours. But I had gotten the code for free, so I didn't feel like it was that much of a loss to not play it. But I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know why I constantly buy games and not play them.
Oh, I
I'm
do
so
the
bad
same exact
at doing
thing.
that whenever stuff is on sale.
Yeah, I do the same thing too. If like I've talked about this before, but I haven't told you, but it got to the point where my previous job, I was working at a used game store, and everything was so cheap. I was just buying games all the time, and also Steam sales. So I have a ridiculous fucking backlog of games. Actually, I have like a list on my phone of like just every game that I like. It's sorted by every game I've started and need to finish, every game that I need to finish in time for a sequel to come out, and then everything else. That's like worth it.
If you look at your games list on Steam, how many games does it tell you?
I would love to tell you, but I'm afraid if I open Steam, it'll fuck up my overlay because it's terrible.
I have 1,172.
Oh my
God. You might have more than Hacks.
Wow. I think I have.
I mean, some of those are like remasters or expansions. They're not all individual games, but that kind of gives you like a roundabout guess of how many games I have.
Damn.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It's a lot to go through. I mean, I thought I had it bad at 300, but
I mean, a lot of them are like just BS codes that I got out of bundles that I bought cheaply on websites. But then some of them are legitimate purchases, like The Witcher 3. Never installed it.
Exactly.
Fallout 4. Never played it.
Wow.
And I bought it.
You don't need to play that one.
You're not missing too much of that one, no.
You don't need to play the Fallout.
My brother.
The Witcher 3.
That's a great one.
My
brother is a huge Fallout fan. He played the shit out of 3 in New Vegas. He's the kind of guy that spends like 500 hours on a file just decorating the shit in his room in the game, just dropping items and moving them. And he's like, David, come look at this. And he took like the cash item and dropped like 99 of them on his bed, and he just has a bed of money in the game. Like he's that into it. But and then he tells me he just is not into 4 at all. Like he's tried to get into it like twice now with like 2 different files, and it's just so 4 is disappointing, but it's fun, I feel like. But yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. Like I'll look at the list and I'll see like the Mass Effect trilogy. I own that, picked it up on sale, haven't touched it.
Have you ever played them?
No, never.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know they're good. And they're right next to.
I've never played like Dead Space, and I've got those games.
You gotta play Dead Space, baby. Oh, those are some good ass games. Not
you
the
gotta
third
play Dead Space, baby.
Yeah. 1 and 2 are so good. 3, let's move on.
I don't even think I own 3, so I'm good there.
You're good. You're fine. Yeah.
I just have 1 and 2.
Just imagine that the third game is a really cool ending story. Great. Yeah. Just don't.
I'm looking at my list. I'm trying to think of a big game that I have not played that I have.
Yeah, I have Witcher 3 Complete Edition. Haven't touched it. I have so many of the Final Fantasies that I didn't play. It just goes on and on and on. But
Batman, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7 is so good. We'll be here all day if we just do this back and. Yeah, I know what it's like. Have a huge ass backlog, but yeah, Rev 2 is super fun. But someone in the chat was talking about, I also have it on PS4, and they're lamenting about the really small player base for it online, which I definitely feel. That's why I'm hoping with Dragon Ball Fighter. I keep wanting to call it Fighter Z, but it's Dragon Ball
That's what
Fighter.
I'm calling it. I know
Oh,
it's
really?
fighters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters, and I know that much more people are going to be playing this because it's Dragon Ball and it's reached a lot of people. So that's why I'm excited to put a lot of time into, because it really had a lot of hype coming out too. Like, it was the Marvel killer, undisputed. That game.
Well, Capcom killed Marvel themselves, so
That's true. A fun
go
story.
ahead and just take care of it.
Yeah. Today's a great day. Today's Family Videos Gamer Appreciation Day. Which,
Is it really?
yes,
Are you
it
reading
is.
an email right now?
No, I'm not. I went to Family
Is there
Video.
like a promo email for that?
Do you work for them again? Is
No,
like,
I
that's
don't
what's
work for
going-
them
really
again.
good?
No, I picked up one of their brochures, and
Oh my god.
it's a great deal. You'll walk
Physical
in.
media.
It's great.
in
You
2018.
rent a game for free for 5 days, and then your next
Okay.
2 weeks are half off, baby. Think about that shit.
But do you have to commit to those next 2 weeks?
Well, I mean,
You
the
probably do.
2 weeks will just be ticking by, so I feel like I might as well rent something. But all I'll be doing is just pushing my backlog further. So I might pick up like Monster Hunter World comes out. I want to play that. Anyways, huge tangent. I apologize. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, so I'm hoping that Dragon Ball Fighters will have like a lot of people playing it. But other than that, I've been this game came out on Steam, which came out in like 2004, that finally got ported over, and we'll talk about this more in the news. Actually, no, let's talk about the news right now. It's a game called yeah, fuck it. It's this game called Yume Nikki. It's one of the original RPG Maker horror games that came out.
I thought this looked really old. I was about to
Oh,
ask,
yeah.
like, this was only released this year. It's got to be older than that.
Oh yeah,
but-
it's very old. Yeah. And they put it on Steam alongside a website that's a countdown page for their next project, which friends of mine who are big fans of losing their shit over this, and they're excited. So I played Yume Nikki. The way the game is it's very, very abstract. It's super easy to get lost in, because all it is you're in your apartment, you can't leave your apartment, and you go to sleep, and you just dream, and you explore. And weird shit happens. And sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's just it's very abstract. There's one thing that happens, like the Uboa event, which is like agreed to be the scariest thing of the game, and so I went after that specific event, which I don't think I ever would have fucking found on my own time searching through that game like that. But it's a huge game, and it's really, I mean, there's an ending, but it's really abstract in how to get it, and it's meant to be like you just play it and you explore, and you see whatever kind of weird shit you see, and a lot of weird things can happen. It is free, yeah. So I definitely recommend, downloading it just to, I definitely appreciate for the time what they did, but you really have to be into it for it to grab you now.
I
So
was
that was
about to
made
say,
on the
like, I
first
was
RPG
slightly
Maker?
interested, but I don't know if I've got the patience to
Yeah, you have to
search
be,
around too much.
yeah, you've got to be very patient to get everything out of it. So it makes me, like, I'm excited to see what they'll do for their next project, but it's got a very dedicated fan base. It actually got its own like webcomic made a few years ago, like 10 years after the game came out. But I mean, it was cool.
So
fun.
I've never heard of this before. This
Do
is
what?
news to me.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never heard of this before, so I didn't
Right.
know that there was this whole like fan base surrounding it.
Right. I think
How old did you say it was? When did this come out?
2004 is when it came out.
4? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
This
And,
was made in the original RPG Maker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
There's a lot of random stuff that can happen. I you know what, I recommend like streaming it, to be honest. Like, maybe not like dedicate a whole stream to it, but it'd be fun to just kind of like explore. Like, it's not like modern horror games where you get that immediate horror and tension.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put some time into it. But I respect it. I respect the game, but I'm never gonna play the bitch again. But
Damn.
yeah, other than that, I've been chipping away at Wolfenstein 2, been trying to play through that. It's been incredible, but with AGDQ going on this week, I really have had a tough time really dedicating a lot of time to it, because an awesome run will go on and I'll just forget about it. But that's been fun.
Does it still crash a lot?
Yeah, the only time it's ever crashed for me, it never crashes during regular gameplay, but every time I alt tab, it guaranteed crashes. like 90% of the time will crash. It's very annoying.
I had
and,
to refund it.
I love Bethesda.
Really? Wow.
I was consistently crashing in the beginning cutscene right after your dad that you are you're his son. He tries to make you kill the dog.
Right.
Right after that, I crashed
Oh my.
in the main
That's
cutscene.
shitty.
So
It's very poorly optimized, and like I thought about playing it on PS4 because of these issues, but the way it aims on controller, it's not like say Call of Duty where you can actually like aim pretty well on a controller. Something about the aiming, like it rotates too slowly and it goes too fast, like depending on how, short or far you push the analog stick. So on a higher difficulty,
there's this
like
weird acceleration or
right, yeah, the acceleration is really bad, and like Wolfenstein 2 on PC right now, I'm playing on like second highest difficulty, and I'm doing fine. On console, I was playing at like honestly easy difficulty, and I was dying over and over and over. It's impossible on console, dude. But from what I've been going through, it has been really fun. And there's also this thing where when you get to the end of the level and it plays a cutscene, it'll load the next level during the cutscene, as expected, but it'll freeze the cutscene visually while it's loading. So you'll hear the cutscene, you'll hear everything that's happening, but it'll just be stuck on, BJ's dumb face. And then it'll jump back a few seconds later. It sucks, but it's something I'm, willing to put up with because,
they're still having these issues with that. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to play it so bad. And the first Wolfenstein, no issues. Zero.
Exactly.
Never crashed, never had any freezing problems. I don't know.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with Wolfenstein, the first one of the new one, is just the engine it was on, because if you uncap the frame rate, shit would break and stuff like that.
Was it
But
tied
that
to the
was just
physics
the
or
engine it was
something?
on. What was that?
I think it was.
Was it tied to the physics?
It was the physics was tied to the frame rate. So
I
if you
didn't know
unlocked
that.
it, you would be like the scene, specifically the scene wherever you get dropped off in front of the Nazi base by like that grandpa or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he goes to hand you a gun. You don't get that gun. It ends up across the level.
Really?
It was fucking insane.
Wow.
Like, it was just bad.
Damn, dude.
But I mean, it was
That sounds like a challenge.
Doesn't get that good.
The frame rate and try to fucking beat this game.
Yeah,
That's
it would
RNG,
like
baby.
screw up. It would screw up some of the cutscenes, and like you'd be in one spot, but everyone else would be in another spot. It was just awkward, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's just that's what I come to expect from Bethesda titles.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, hopefully.
I mean, it's not just them though, because like there was Nier Automata that we were promised a patch for since March, and nothing's come out for that.
Nothing.
Has fucking other game from Bethesda.
Nier's not from Bethesda. But just a disclaimer.
I know. But what the fuck is the game that won Game of the Year for KBMOD the 1 year?
Oh, Dishonored.
That's a big name.
Or
Dishonored. Did Dishonored 2 ever get fixed on PC? Because that was an awful.
I never
PC
had any issues with Dishonored.
Oh, yeah, I heard it was awful.
Oh,
I want to play it. I've just been waiting until it got fixed.
I didn't play that one either, and I own it. Man, it just everything we're having a conversation about, I can just say,
Yeah.
hey, I own that, and I didn't play it.
Right. Yeah, the Nier Automata no patch really makes me sad because I really love that game, and this makes me sad. But, it's still the way it is.
Hey,
It was
I
a
didn't
game.
play that one either.
Yeah, Tim, I know you don't like it. That's why I'm trying to avoid discussion about this. This is a game I'm very passionate about. I don't want to hear any negative opinions.
No.
You said you didn't play it yet, Mark?
Nope.
All right, don't talk to Tim. Don't listen to him. It's a great game.
Do you like Rick and Morty?
Shut the fuck up. What is wrong with you? How are those in any way equated with each
I'm
other?
just saying, you need to have a high IQ to understand Rick
Okay.
and Morty. So I feel like that's the same with Nier.
Okay. Let's move on. No, other than that, yeah, I know. Yeah, other than that, I've been continuing the newest Fire Emblem on the 3DS, which is a pretty fun time. But yeah, let's jump into some news real quick. As we talked about last week, AGDQ 2018 has come and gone. It's over. Ended a couple days ago. And
It's
they
already
managed
done?
to. Yeah, it was a week.
It is only a week long.
It felt like it went pretty fast for me too, because it ended very early Sunday. Sunday didn't get like a full day of games, it felt like. It was just the Breath of the Wild was the last run, and that lasted until around I think 4 a.m. Eastern time. So, but yeah, they raised a new record of $2.25 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which is about 40,000 more than last year. Which is just awesome news.
That's insane.
Yeah, and
That's
you can still deliver. You can still. Oh my God, it's an autoplay video. Stop this. PC gamer. I thought you were one of the good ones.
Okay.
Yes.
So
okay.
all right. So to go back to earlier when we were talking about Oreos, and I made the joke about like Oreo being the new Soylent. I got a Google ad on this PC Gamer article about AGDQ that uses the word Soylent in it. And it
they know.
Somebody's listening to me and tailoring these advertisements. I didn't type that shit in ever.
You are being NSA monitored 100%. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, did you guys get a chance to watch any runs from GDQ?
I did not watch a single one, and usually I'll map out a couple that I want to see because I'm interested in the way the games run, but I just didn't keep up with it because it also like the CS:GO major was coming up. I was busy editing, and just it kind of fell to the wayside, so I didn't see anything.
Gotcha. How you, Sam?
I caught the Bloodborne run live yesterday because it was right when I got home from work and stuff. There's a few I want to go back and watch just because they either went on super late at night, I was doing something else, or I was or something of the other. Because I mean, it's something that goes on all week nonstop, so you're gonna miss some stuff. So I want to watch the Kingdom Hearts run that they did this year.
By Sleep, yeah.
I want to watch the variation that they did this year of that, and
the Bloodborne run looks real good.
The guy was good. It's always better, even if they screw up, like when the actual person running the game is interactive and entertaining, it just makes it worthwhile, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Especially coming straight after the Dark Souls 3 run, where the runner was completely silent for like 90%.
That's honestly why I miss a lot of the AGDQ stuff, is because I don't think that a lot of their people that do runs are good personalities, and it's just not entertaining enough for me. Like just the game on its own as a run is not good enough.
Like if they have that, they need to have someone on the couch either doing it for them.
Some of the better ones have had somebody on the couch that also runs the game, but is able to sit back and talk while the other person, maybe they have to focus on whatever they're doing, and it's just hard for them to do a conversation at the same time.
Definitely.
But I've run into some quiet ones in the past. Some really obnoxiously quiet ones.
Yeah, the thing is, the person on the couch for the Dark Souls 3 run wasn't really, I mean they were fine. They just weren't that entertaining. But so I watched quite a bit of GDQ, so I'll just outline some ones to definitely check out. The Resident Evil 7 run was it was played on Madhouse difficulty, and it was very entertaining. They actually I think they died once, almost lost the run a couple times, so it was a pretty exciting run to watch. Really great commentary. Super Mario World was really good, and then also Super Dram World 2, which that whole community of Mario World and Mario 3 runners, they all do fan hacks of the game and like name them after each other. And it's just and they're all really funny. So it's a lot of, like Super Kaizo World, like they're really they're all like that. They're all just stupid, insane hard levels where you like, some of them involve like breaking the game to go through. Like at one point, I think this might have actually been last year, but I know one of the levels you had to make something with the physics break, like make the coins go out infinitely to like make a certain value on screen to go through. I don't know. I sound like complete gibberish right now, but it was a really.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's just been a while
since
That's scary because I understand it. All of the details.
Yeah, those are really fun.
I saw a highlight of that. Was there like a part where you had to keep like the bullet bills on the screen and use them to bounce through and shit like that? I saw a highlight of that level, and that looked fucking insane.
Yeah,
I thought it was Super Mario Maker, to be honest, at first, but then
it was a really great run, really hard levels, and they were donating every time they died. And also Grand Pooh Bear, the runner, is a really entertaining guy, so definitely check that one out. The Link to the Past, I didn't even know this was a thing. But there's a Link to the Past randomizer mod where, excuse me. And that is so cool to me. I did not know that existed. Man. Yeah, it's so
randomizer mods for games are cool. Like there's the Dark Souls randomizer mod, which is super cool. but then my game crashed and I lost all my save files. So I was sad about that.
Oh man, that hurts me.
It took me 4 weeks on Rough Timbs to find Firelink Shrine, and I found it, and then the next week I went to load it up, and my save was gone, and I was so sad.
Gotcha.
So sad.
That's good stream content.
It really is.
To lose your save file and freak out on camera.
Dark Souls is the getting over it of stream games.
Have either of you actually beat getting over it yet?
I've attempted to play it, and then I stopped.
Oh man,
I don't think I can.
I've got like 4 or 5 hours in it, and I haven't beaten it. It's really hard.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of people play it, and I know it's something I can't play because I get very frustrated at games, like very easily. So I know I just don't see myself putting in the time for the game.
No, it's a game that is meant to.
It's meant to break
force you to make a mistake, and you're gonna have to climb back up several times. It's just the nature of it, because you're gonna go in and you're gonna hit a spot where you're not exactly sure how you're supposed to jump to it, or the type of swing you need to do.
Right.
And not only that, but then just the physics in general and the way that the controls work can be a little finicky. Like they're not. I don't want to say that they're not complete. They're just very fine and sensitive, and it's quite annoying in some areas if you like just slightly move your mouse in the wrong way and you like pogo stick yourself off of the fucking platform that you're on, and you fly all the way back down to the bottom. It's happened several times to me.
That sounds too painful. I don't know if I could do
and then
it.
the speed run world record is like 1 minute and 56 seconds.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing.
When I watched it, I'm like, wow, there's so much room for improvement in this with some of the sections. It's insane how fast that game is for a speed run. That's something that I actually want to see done at like the next AGDQ.
I feel like that's just one thing where like I feel like there's no. I mean, I know there's like skill to it, but at the same time, it just looks like they're just flinging their mouse around.
Yeah, it does.
Hoping for the best.
That would
Whenever you first watch it and you don't play it, it looks like one of those games where you say that doesn't look that bad, but the controls are much worse than they let on screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder how that would go at a GDQ event. Like, how would they do the estimate from that? Like, range from 2 minutes to like 1 hour. Because what if he just can't do the jumps? And he
I feel like they would give you like, you know, you say it's going to be 2 minutes or like 15. I don't think they would like give it a lot of time.
Right.
Like they would make it a race, and then
a race would be good.
2 minutes.
A race would be good for that game.
That'd be pretty. Yeah, speaking of races, there are some good races this year. They did a 4-way Mario World race. They did a Mega Man 1 through 3 relay race, and then also
cool.
Not a race, but another good one was Super Mario Sunshine. They did every single shine for that game. That was a really fun run because some of those levels are ball busters. Oh my god, just to see that just get owned, very satisfying. So yeah, there was some good stuff this year. So pretty successful event. And yeah, always look forward to those. Next up is some news that I'm sure you Witcher fans, Tim, be excited about. So Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that I don't understand how it has the reputation it does, but they can do anything and make headlines. Case in point,
but it's because of I mean, you want to know why? Have you seen I mean, everyone's seen the launch, like the announcement trailer for the game. It's because that is fucking beautiful.
It is.
It's because and also it's because it's steampunk, and nobody gets steampunk fucking anything in video games.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So for something to come out of CD Projekt Red, that steampunk, where you expect quality, then everybody's like, okay, please God, I need it. Let it be good.
Not to mention made by CD Projekt Red, which just has ridiculous, what is the word, clout? So
CD Projekt Red could resurrect Hitler and people would jerk off to it.
Oh my god.
That's all true, because Hitler's beard would grow as the game goes on, and that's just fucking fantastic.
Good. Cyberpunk Hitler. Just think about those 2 words, and you've got sales. But anyways, so the Cyberpunk 2077 official Twitter after nearly, what has it been, 2 years without updates? Yeah, their last tweet, December 5th, 2013.
I didn't even know it had been that long
It's been
since
fucking
that trailer and shit came out.
Yeah,
It's been
since 2013.
forever.
Yeah, that's crazy. But they finally tweet. And you know what they say? They say
Deep.
beep. That's it. 18,000 retweets. 49,000 likes. People are losing their shit over this game. So yeah, just a little nod.
God, I just love the best part about it is that the tweet before that is the Cyberpunk 2077 teaser trailer has won machinima.com Inside Game Award for best trailer of 2013.
What a throwback!
The Machinima goddamn Game Awards.
Man. Oh, what a throwback. That's so cool.
Oh,
that's awesome.
shit.
Just to kind of date that. Yeah, it's been forever, but yeah, I would say I would pray for like a 2019.
I feel like with that tweet, they're gonna have something at E3, and then probably a 2019 release.
I feel like
I would imagine.
Yeah, Cyberpunk
because they've been hiring out the ass for that game.
Really?
Okay. Yes, CD Projekt Red has grown. Let's put it that way.
I feel like
they
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like they shifted after Blood and Wine came out for The Witcher 3. They shifted most of those people over to Cyberpunk, and then some to Gwent, and then they've been hiring out the ass for just Cyberpunk, and it's just
okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, dude. I feel like this game has done something really weird where it's skirted on the edge of the hype, where it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it has impossible expectations to live up to. You know, like it doesn't feel like Half-Life 3, anything like that, where like people aren't going to be. I mean, hopefully people won't be disappointed with what we see. I feel like the devs have proved themselves, you know, obviously with Witcher 3. So, yeah, the stars are aligned for this to be a great Cyberpunk experience. That's all right. Let's see. So, next up in our news, we just have a shit ton of announcements, games. And I'll be quite honest. I'll be real with you listeners. We usually like to prepare a document every week when we do this podcast, but what I'm looking at is some straight garbage. So I'm just gonna I just see a list of links, and it's all my fault. I'm not blaming anyone but myself, but try to bear with me here. We'll try to go through
these.
This
is your podcast, by the way.
This is my podcast, bitches. No. So first thing I want to talk about, and I definitely want to talk about this because this was
Hello, everyone.
Gotta talk
a while.
Okay, we're gonna talk.
Yeah,
about
we're gonna talk about this. Yeah, this was a lovely thing to wake up to. So a lot of this news came from a surprise Nintendo Direct that they did that people have been wanting for a very long time. Which
yeah. So I just want to talk about this. How the fuck do they do that? Like, just I don't know. It's like, yeah, Nintendo Direct tomorrow.
Right.
Just time be there. Like, what the fuck?
I agree. That's a little shitty because normally they give you like a week notice, maybe at least a few days notice. So yeah, it was pretty frustrating because I would have loved to see it live and freak out over this. But the final thing they showed, we're gonna start off with that. Dark Souls Remastered, bitches, is happening. It's happening. Is it my choice for remaster? No, I would have much rather seen a Demon Souls remaster. But I'll take what I can get. The Dark Souls remaster.
Well, I guess the issue there is that wasn't Demon Souls like Sony funded?
It's Sony.
There's no way we did that outside of a Sony console anyway.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm not saying I really would want it for the Switch, but I would just love to see a Demon Souls remaster. But I'm by no means disappointed. Dark Souls Remastered is coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So, if you want to lie naked in your bed with a Joy-Con in each hand, with your Nintendo Switch propped up by your pillow, you can finally do that while playing Dark Souls and just enjoy life. Be a 2018 gamer. That's the optimal way to play in 2018.
Fucking God. Can that be your tagline this year?
The Nintendo Switch is the Dark Souls of gaming consoles.
All right. Oh my God. So just a little breakdown of the improvements that they're doing for this game. They promise 60 FPS for this game, which is actually a big deal. because Dark Souls has only been 30 FPS in the past. If you use DSFix on the insanely stupid PC port of Dark Souls, which the internal resolution is locked at 720p regardless of your monitor, it's fucked. Thankfully, it's all fixed by DSFix.
This is the port we deserved.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and I have full confidence in them to make this port after Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2, which are great on PC. But they say it's going to be 60 FPS, and if you've tried to do that previously in Dark Souls 1 using DSFix, you put it to, are you okay, Tim?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm just kidding.
I'm good.
If you turn on 60 FPS, then the physics get broken. Talked about. If you slide down ladders, sometimes you'll clip through the floor.
It's awful.
Yeah, some points in platforming in the game are just broken. So I'm curious about what they'll do to make this an actual viable 60 FPS way to play the game.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they're gonna make the game work, because with the PC versions of 2 and 3, I want to say they designed the game's engine to work at 60 frames. Except for
I mean, DS2 had the fucking durability problem that had to be patched.
Other than that was
right.
They've had
years to
times
fix.
at 60 FPS. They have a lot of problems.
That's yeah.
They fixed it. They got it right with 3, but
yeah, 3
Right.
was perfectly fine. Yeah,
but no, I mean
2 is a little crazy though.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I forgot about that. They fixed that a week before Dark Souls 3 came out.
That was so
I didn't even
fucking
know
dumb.
it took that long.
Yeah, it took the entire release of Dark Souls 2. It's Scholar of the First Sin, which was the re-release for next-gen consoles, which the shit persisted on. It took forever to get that shit ironed out. I have no clue why. But I feel like Dark Souls 1 is...
Dark Souls 2.
Do what?
I hate Dark Souls 2.
That game did not do anything for me. As a Souls game, it's definitely the weakest, in my opinion.
If you were a real gamer, you'd want Dark Souls 2 with the durability problem back.
That's the only way
That
to
was the
play
real
it.
challenge.
Durability glitch? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted a challenging game with Dark Souls 2. Fucking bitch. No, but see, all the Souls games are, I think, done in a variation of the same engine. So it's like the same way that they have Dark Souls 3 at 60 FPS, but then Bloodborne is only 30 FPS. I think it's going to be surprisingly simple for them for Dark Souls 1. I assume to make it 60 FPS, but we'll see. We can hope. Bandai Namco, we don't have any gameplay for this remaster, which makes me very sad and has me checking my phone every single day when I wake up, hoping that some video gets out. But we don't know how big of an improvement we're looking at. For Dark Souls 2, when that got a graphical overhaul, they made the lighting a lot better, and that was pretty much it. They did say that they're
blind.
Yeah, exactly. Because people were so pissed about the fucking torch system, which was garbage to begin with. Anyways, sorry, I got triggered there.
From what I have read, I can't find the article that I saw this in, but I believe that they are still using the same assets from Dark Souls 1.
Yes, they did say there aren't going to be any new assets for 3.
I don't know,
but
we'll see how it works.
Yeah, there's been a lot of back and forth with the specifications, because this is what happens when you Oh my god, I'm reading the chat. God, PC players are always fucking crying about ports and shit. Just be happy you have a fucking game. Shout out to Jimbo. No, but I'm not sure what they're gonna do, because looking at Dark Souls 1 now, it is already just a beautiful game. Like, it still looks great by today's standards. When you pump up the anti-aliasing, you pump up the resolution on PC, it still looks great. But here's hoping they're not going the mindset of, oh, well, for console players, they've had to deal with Dark Souls 1 being at only 720p at 30 FPS, so, oh man, they're going to see a huge improvement. No, I really hope we get more than that. We'll see. Other than
I hope that console gets upscaled 720p.
Oh my god.
No, it's going to be 900p.
Oh,
so.
I would shit. They did clarify after some people reported there would be some people were reporting there would be HDR lighting on the PS4 version, on PS4 Pro, which sadly is false, because HDR is a huge improvement in my opinion. But other than visual improvements, they are making the online 6-player online instead of 4-player, like Dark Souls 3 and I believe Dark Souls 2 Scholar did it that way. And it is going to include the DLC, of course. And it's set for release on May 25th, which is surprisingly soon to have no gameplay. I guess they're just trying to
I didn't even
cock-tease
realize
us.
it had a date like that.
Yeah,
And
really
we
close.
and we don't even know if we own Prepare to Die edition if we get a discount or
We
we
get
just
half
get
off.
the remaster.
No,
get half off.
no,
Okay.
they clarified
Are-
that there is no
Did
discount.
they clarify that they?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, they came out and said there's not going to be a discount.
Oh well.
No.
yeah.
Well, hold on. That okay. So that question, it didn't sound like the person who answered it understood the question. I don't think they
You're right.
understood
You're right.
what-
I remember
They
reading
didn't
that same
understand
thing.
what was being asked, which is specifically if you own Prepare to Die edition, do we get a discount on PC? I don't think
Yeah.
they understood that was the question, and then they said no, that there's no discount. But I think that they just didn't have the right answer because they didn't
Right.
understand it.
I think the way they phrased it was like there will be no difference in pricing across all versions. Which, yeah, you're right.
Oh.
I remember that now. Yeah, so
That's
it's up in the air whether or not they'll lead discount, but the game will be $40 when it launches on all systems. Which it's a pretty good price considering. But yeah, a Nintendo Switch, it will be at 30 FPS still instead of 60, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, anyways, so it's coming up pretty close. I already set down the goddamn countdown clock, so we're at 130 days, people.
Do you fucking like Google Calendar shit like this, man?
I went to countdown.com or whatever the fuck, and I figured it out, dude. Dude, I like to have the realizable.
Dude, I need push notifications on my phone. I have to have everything tailored to my
every
gaming
second
experience.
it gets closer. They let me know. My phone's just constantly buzzing. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited for that. Also, I skipped over this, but Final Fantasy 12, the remaster they did for the PS4, that's coming to PC next month. It's gonna be in 60 FPS, which surprisingly was only 30.
I'm gonna rebuy it for that.
I'm gonna rebuy it, dude. I feel bad because I bought this on PS4 like the week it came out, haven't touched it, and now I'm seeing that it's only 30 FPS on console, and now I have to sell it to GameSpot or some shit or GameStop. But I mean, I'm gonna wait and see if there are any like performance.
Is this supposed to be one of those good Final Fantasy games? There's so many,
Honestly,
don't know.
I never played it whenever, like growing up. I just played it when it released on PS4. And knowing that that was on PS2, like what they did with that game is fucking insane.
It does look
actually.
a lot better. Yeah.
Like
Apparently, you can
it's-
play it on triple monitor setup.
Yeah, they did say it was gonna be ultra wide support, like 21 by
Mhm.
9. Yeah, that's cool.
insane.
Well, I
But,
mean, you can do 3 monitors and do 48 by 9 is what I mean. Like you can do the whole like yeah.
okay.
yeah. But
Very wide screen, extreme wide screen.
Extreme widescreen, yeah.
But it wasn't like the story for the game wasn't like one of those absurd like let's save the world type things. It was like then there was like no main character. Like I know there's never like a main character in the Final Fantasy games, but they always give the hint of like one person being main character. Everyone had their own like stories that were actually really really well done. Especially like the people that you were kind of like fighting against, like they didn't feel like bad guys. It was just people who had a difference of opinion type thing. Like it, like I said,
love
it's
that.
not like one of those let's save the world from this big bad entity. It's like two different political kind of like parties kind of going at each other, trying to battle for their thing, I guess.
I love that. I love when
So-
RPGs do that. Like the
It was a really really well done game, and it was a lot of fun. And the there's a system in it called the Gambit system, which lets you control your AIs and how they behave and all that stuff. And it's the most in-depth way to control the side characters that you could possibly do without stopping to control them, because it's not like it's not a JRPG like where it's turn-based. It's all like,
This one's like an ARPG sort of.
yeah, it's like
I
all
gotcha.
like kind of like you can play it real time. You can pause it. You can go through everyone's individual attacks and set it up.
Okay.
But then the battles will take forever. So, and some people like to do that, but I liked playing it like an action thing where I controlled one person, let everyone else do their own thing. But you can set it up to where this person can use this skill when this person's below this amount of health, or so on and so forth. And it's like it breaks it down so much that it really is like you can't get mad at the AI for being bad AI on your team because it's how you set it up. They give you all the tools to have them do what you want them to do.
Okay.
So it's I really liked it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be rebuying it because it's gonna be
Shit,
60
I
FPS,
might
apparently.
get this for Allison. She's been looking at. I've been trying to find her a fucking RPG to play, and she doesn't like turn based, so this might actually be worthwhile just for something to pass the time with.
Mhm.
Did she play 15 at all?
Play 15 Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Other than World of Warcraft, the only other game she's played is Ni no Kuni, which Ni no Kuni 2 isn't out yet, and she's gonna want to play that. But I've been trying to like find something else to give her to play because she's very particular and at the moment only plays World of Warcraft. That's it. So
What a life.
So we just got a big bonus at work, and I just bought the collector's edition for Ni no Kuni too because I have to have it.
nice.
I know you're a huge Ni no Kuni fan. Yeah.
I'm so excited for that game.
Awesome.
It's a very adorable video game.
And
It is, but it's also like super in depth, like with the combat and shit that I was not expecting the first time I started it up. Like I started up once, got partway through, and was getting my ass just fucking pounded in, and I stopped playing it. And then I actually like looked at how the game's supposed to be played and read the shit, and I was like, damn, I was playing this totally wrong. Like I was matching up like weak. My characters were weak against like the characters, and I didn't have like I wasn't like typing like I thought like maybe it was just like fire beats earth and water beats fire, but there's like a hidden in-depth system behind that too that they don't exactly explain that you have to kind of look into. But it's a great game, and it's just one of those. It's helped. How do I put it? Studio Ghibli helped make that game.
Yeah,
and they make fantastic films. From what I heard, I haven't seen any of them yet.
What?
But
you should.
Are you?
Yeah,
I do need to watch them.
You haven't
haven't
seen a single Miyazaki movie?
No, I have not.
Are you? It's fine. You know what?
They're
That's
just
fine.
good, wholesome entertainment.
They are.
They're beautiful.
Oh man.
They'll make you feel good.
Oh, Tim, I'm gonna ship you my Miyazaki Blu-ray collection. Please.
He made a special box to house them all.
It's not. I didn't make it. No, it's official. It's not a
shipping
homemade
container company made the box. It just sits in his backyard, and it's a shrine.
It's a shrine, my own shrine. I throw a tarp over it when it snows outside. But no, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Ni no Kuni's cool. And if you're looking for like turn-based, not turn-based, like the opposite. 15 is like the furthest from turn-based for RPG. I would also recommend the Tales of games, like Tales of Berseria. That goes on sale pretty often.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Great
The game is
combat.
fantastic.
Yeah, I fucking love that game. So that's a good one too. But yeah, Final Fantasy 12, if you're curious, it's coming to PC next month. I'm not sure about the exact date, but I'm not going to click that link because PC Gamer likes autoplay videos. So they can like the dick.
And big fucking advertisements that like cover your screen and you have to X out of.
Yeah,
really love those.
And track your location and what you say about Soylent. And,
Guys, just sign up for PC Gamer Club. It's all right. You won't have any.
Oh, of course.
It's due February 1st is when it's due.
Okay, cool.
So,
all right, awesome. Real quick ones. I'm gonna blow through these. Geese 8, which is an amazing action game going purely by the demo I played that came out for PS4 and the other Geese games. It was originally gonna come out on PC in November, but a day before release they said, "Oops, this game's broken," and they took it down. And it's finally getting released at the end of this month after us being in complete silence since then. Because apparently
I have more information about that too.
Yeah, but
it was partly broken on PC, but then they completely redid all the dialogue in the game.
Yeah, they were saying that the localization for the game was very, very bad. So yeah, they brought in all the voice actors back in, or as much as they could, redid. Yeah, so much of the audio. Yeah, so that was.
So was it that the writing, the translation was bad?
Yes,
not the voice acting itself. Okay.
Just the overall translation, and then I think like the French.
So was there never a point in the voice actors being there where they were like, this reads fucking weird, right?
It's weird.
No, they all just said their lines and then walked away with their paycheck. They probably didn't tell anybody. It's like this.
Yeah, they're still getting paid. They didn't give a fuck.
fucking borked.
I think there was something with like the French version where on the box it said like defeat the criminal hat or something. Like it translated so poorly. It was something like that. Let me look it up real quick. Use 8.
Oh shoot.
Sorry about the keyboard sound. Let me see. Yeah, here's the Kotaku article. The French on Yusa's Vita box is literal nonsense. Let me see. I'm sorry to leave you, but I have to buy a hat. I'm going to ask these peasants who come to meet us if the way in which
that actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah. It's wow. That sounds like a much more interesting story to be no, but
yeah, you go on a journey to buy a hat. Sorry, gotta go.
Geese 8 Journey of the Hat. I'd play it. But yeah, that comes out end of the month, and they also are doing something where if you want to be a beta tester for the game, all you have to do is fill out info and send them a request. They openly advertise being a PC tester for the game. So definitely hit that up if you want a free AAA game. And that's one way to look at it, but if you want to support this game development.
That's how I can get you a code.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been begging Tim to get me a code, but
no, I already talked to the guy. I think we're getting one. I have to pre-email him.
Cool. Yeah, that was from October. We were told that we were gonna get a code, so we'll see. Didn't completely forget about us. All right, moving on. So, Arc System Works. They're not making one fighting game, but 2. Their next game, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, is coming out in June, which is a crossover 2-on-2 anime as fuck fighting game featuring crossovers of characters from Persona 4 Arena, Under Night, which is a lesser known one, nothing from Guilty Gear, but they have a lot of Blaze Blue characters, obviously, and they actually partnered with Ruby to bring in characters from that Rooster Teeth animated quote-unquote anime series, bring this in, which me being personally a big fan of Ruby was pretty excited about. But some concerning news came out that the game's going to launch with 20 characters, and then another 20 are going to be through paid DLC after the game's release.
That's just
it's
like
it's,
one of them being one of the Ruby characters. One of the
exactly. Yeah,
Belladonna.
Here I am thinking, maybe the 4 main characters of Ruby in my game that they hype the fuck out of being involved with Ruby in, but no, that's Blake, the 3rd Ruby character, is going to be DLC after the game's launch, which they said they're going to be releasing in bundles of 3 characters.
Yep.
So
how much is this? Do they have any sort of? No, they don't have any sort of price.
Yeah, I haven't seen a price for it yet.
How's it going to be?
You can also buy a bundle for all of them. I wonder what that will cost.
Like a season pass kind of deal.
Yeah.
I understand being like paid DLC characters in fighting games. I can understand that to a point, but like when literally half your roster after their own release is going to be behind paid DLC is bad. Like you need, like, it's a team-based game. It's another, like, it's 2v2 for that game.
Right.
You need a big roster for that. Like
if it was like 5 characters are coming in DLC, nobody would have said a fucking thing about this.
Yeah, exactly.
20 characters?
20.
Yeah,
it's double what you release with.
Crazy.
Another thing with that is because with Arc's system, and I hope this doesn't happen with Dragon Ball FighterZ, to be honest, they release their games yearly. Like you have Guilty Gear, you have Guilty Gear Revelator, you have Guilty Gear Revelator Xrd, Guilty Gear Revelator Xrd 2, and those are released like year after year.
Yeah.
And usually their big balance patches come with those releases. Yeah. So like if you want to get the balance like fixed of stuff, you have to buy the new one. They usually add a few characters. They don't really have DLC characters for their games, but they add a character or two, or however many, with those new releases. And it's just like, it's hard to really kind of get hyped about like their games. And I feel like that's why a lot of their games don't have a big following, is because of the yearly releases and stuff like that.
Right.
So
yeah, I did hear that
the Call of Duty company of fighting games.
Oh no. Yeah, that's...
I mean, it kind of is. Well, Mortal Kombat had 15 DLC characters, but like it also had a solid cast to start off. And
well, did those characters come out? How long after the game release did 15 characters come out? Was it like, within a couple of months you had 15?
No, it was like 6 months was like the first season. I want to say like another 6 months was season 2 or something like that.
So it took a year for 15 more characters to come out?
Yeah,
Even then, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about the.
but then like Mortal Kombat still is like there's a new Mortal Kombat on the horizon. But
Yeah.
with NetherRealm Studios, they go like Mortal Kombat to Injustice to Mortal Kombat to
Yeah, no, I see
Injustice.
what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot more time in between installments, so it's
Yeah.
more forgivable because you get more time with that game before they're trying to shove another one down your throat. So
Yeah.
Right. So
So not that many people are playing Mortal Kombat 10 anymore because Injustice 2 is out and it's the same style of fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
So usually
they
the
just
thing
changed
with that,
the
like,
name.
and they just add superheroes on it to make it
Superman and
flashy.
Scorpion are the same moveset.
Are they actually?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
No.
Because Scorpion
I
is
would have
in
believed it if you
Injustice,
had
so you
said
can't
yes,
be.
they were.
Oh man, that would have been shitty. I could see that in an alternate reality if EA was behind all this. Uh, but no, it's yeah. Isn't Dragon Ball Fighters getting 8 characters for DLC?
From what I understand, yes.
Okay, right. Well, yeah, it's just pretty disappointing when Arc System Works tweets out, "Tell us what Ruby characters you want to see in this new game," and then it's, "Oh yeah, we're launching with 2."
Yeah, fucking pay us more for it. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
Which ones do you really want to pay for?
Tell us which character you'd pay the most money, and we'll make it happen. But yeah, that's a little disappointing, but I'm still excited for the game because that's just a great concept for a fighting game, and it looks fun.
Yeah.
Moving on, the team that did the Citra, which is a 3DS emulator, has announced, which means we have no footage of this, we don't know anything about it, but they announced the emulator they're working on for the Switch. It's called Yuzu, and yeah, the Switch is actually being emulated now.
I don't know how I feel about that because if it was being made by the people who are currently working on CEMU, like the Wii U emulator, I'd be hyped. But
Right.
the 3DS emulator is garbage. Like I'm not. It's fucking garbage. And I'm not sure if it's because like it's just hard to work with it or whatever, and they're just copying to the Switch because they just are done trying to work with the 3DS stuff, but it doesn't work. So, I mean, I'll be curious to see if they can make it work, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on it being a revolutionary thing,
Right.
personally.
Right. Yeah, I'm.
I mean, whenever they announce these emulators, are they essentially in development like so far away from even being functional that this announcement is kind of pointless because it would be like 3 to 4 years before you'd even see a decent amount of games being able to be emulated properly and not. I don't know.
I feel like that's the case
because I've never emulated anything, but I hear a whole lot about it takes the fucking best hardware to run like a Wii U emulator and get certain games to run properly.
Right.
So
well, yeah, I mean that usually is the case with a lot of the emulators, but I know with the current Wii U one, it's like it's the guys who are working on it as a full-time job because they have a Patreon out, like where they're getting paid to work on it.
Okay.
And that's also where I'm just like,
I don't know how they haven't been shut down yet either, but
yeah, that's weird.
I like the idea of emulation in the case of consoles that are no longer supported and games that you can't get legally in an easy way.
yeah,
If making an emulator for the Switch, which just came out last year, I'm like, dude, stop. That's not your property. Fucking chill out. It's not abandonware. Stop emulating it. I don't know. No, I would never use it myself.
Gotcha.
Feel on that.
Only thing I really see myself doing for like an emulation of like a recent game is Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. Because I mean I've bought the game. I own it physically. So I mean I feel pretty content about, when it comes to like, I mean, being legal or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But playing that game on the Wii U for the first couple hours I played of it and the constant 20 FPS drops, I'm simply not about that. Which
I'm not a fan.
I guess it's like you appreciate that they tried to put it out on the Wii U even though the Switch was out, but it couldn't handle it. It was too much.
Yeah, exactly. And it even drops that low even on the Switch.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Still?
It if you're docked, it drops to 20 FPS almost routinely, like the Wii U. But if you play it portably, people report very rarely getting any drops on
Yeah,
on the
because the
portable version.
resolution changes to like 720p, right?
Yeah,
when
720.
it's portable.
From 900 down to 720.
So it's native
Yeah.
resolution.
Makes sense. Our good KBMOD pal, Hexadecimal, plays Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and he gets a good 60 FPS on his setup, so it's
And you can mess with the shaders and stuff for it, so it actually
Right.
looks a lot better. I mean, it's a nice looking game, but like you can really make it look amazing.
oh yeah, exactly.
So whenever I do go to actually try to play that game again, it will be myself as well
Yeah,
on an
definitely
emulator.
do justice to the visuals of that game by doing that. But
And I'm gonna turn off the weapon degrading in that game because fuck those weapons breaking after 3 hits. I'm just gonna
yeah, that's
turn that shit off
yeah, for sure.
and find something I like and just rock it out. That was my biggest gripe with that game. Was like you find something you like, and then oh fuck, it broke, and then you don't know
Right.
where you got it because that world's fucking huge and you just don't know where the fuck you're going. And but it was
yeah, it's an interesting, switching it up. But so yeah, and we here at KBMod, above all else, we support the law. So definitely don't go breaking the law with any emulation. We're merely just reporting the news. So
Hexadecimal on Twitter if you want to know how to set it up.
what was that? Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. If people knock at your door, bust down your door, you're in handcuffs, you definitely did not hear about this from the KBMod podcast. Anyways, so next up, we'll go through this real quickly. Dusk, done by our good friend. No, he didn't make the game. What am I saying? He's part of the creation of the game. Dave Oshry.
New Buds published it.
Yes, yeah. Hey, I just know he's involved. But this child, he's been working on many other people. Dusk, which had been released privately, episodically, is finally on Steam in early access. I won this game as a code from LAN this past year. I've been playing it. It's very fun. Definitely check that out. It's finally been released, and he's been on the podcast, so it's definitely, we'll try to get him on here to give away some codes again. I'll do my best, Pete. But
Dave, come on podcast, give away codes.
please give free games away. That's why we want you. No,
but it's $20, I believe. Did episode 2 release with this release of it too?
Yes, yeah.
So episodes 1 and 2 are out for the single player part of it. There's an online multiplayer for it, like shoot people.
Right, yeah.
And
I'm excited for that.
Season 3 will come out, or not? Yeah, episode 3 will come out for it eventually. And I think it's gonna be a 3-episode game.
It is.
And then it's $20 across the board. The price won't ever go up. It'll go on sale eventually. He did mention that he won't be putting it on sale for a while, like as far as the sale price, because he, with that trend of everything going on sale just to boost the sales of a game, apparently that's like a terrible trend that's been going on, and you can kind of notice it. So to try and beat that, you got to be part of the if you believe your product's worth $20 and charge $20 for it, it's kind of the mindset behind that. So
definitely. Okay. So yeah, definitely check that out if you've been waiting to pick it up. Finally, so.
Basically, what I'm saying is, don't wait for a sale. Buy it now.
Right.
It's a fantastic game.
It's great. Yeah. All right. And next up, do we want to talk about this? Do we want to bring this up?
Look at the duck. I mean,
not sure.
Don't care.
No. Okay.
Yeah. What is there really to say?
Right. Yeah. All right. And I don't think. Which one of you added this one to talk about it?
I did.
I don't.
Just
not me.
Elite Dangerous is coming out with a new season, like a new. Their whole thing is like they released the base game. It was out for 2 years. They released Horizons. It's been out for 2 years. Now they're ready to move on to the next part of their Elite Dangerous kind of development, and it's going into open beta sometime this month. And it's going to start revolving around. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the articles of like these alien ships popping up and just destroying people out of the blue. But it's the next expansion for that game is going to revolve more around this alien race and alien species, and they're going to have an open beta to start testing things. They're going to have a new ship and new places to go and new missions and all that stuff. So I play the game every so often, but I just stick in one system and go bounty hunting for about an hour until I get killed. And that's about it.
I just hang around. I don't really do much.
I just like flying around on my ship. But I like just following like the stories of like people just playing that game and like discovering shit is super cool. And I'm curious to see what they're going to be doing like with this alien race, because like from what I've seen of footage of those ships, like there's no way to kill them. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of go about doing that stuff. So I know there's some people who are into like the flight simulators and are into Star Citizen that started playing Elite Dangerous, and this might bring them back to Elite Dangerous for a little bit because the Star Citizen's never going to release. So
Yeah, where's Star Citizen at?
I released
going on
Alpha
with that?
3.0 or something like that just recently, I guess. You guys hardballer about it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
is
yeah.
Hardballer one of the like Star Citizen founders, huh? How much money did he put into Star Citizen?
Just ask him because I don't feel comfortable releasing that information.
ask him privately so he doesn't have to announce it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. I'm curious to see where it goes, just from a spectator standpoint, really. But I'll probably try it out too.
Gotcha. Speaking of Hardballer, trying to find this review here, but let's see. Jam, did you know that someone actually threatened their life if Hardballer is allowed on the cast again?
I mean, is it really worth killing yourself over Hardballer though?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you're that passionate about this podcast and just don't want to see it be tainted by this man, which I'm not saying he taints it, but in their eyes, yeah, that's here it is right here from Zach. He said, "If I have to listen to Hardballer in one more podcast, I will end myself." So tensions are a little high about including him again. So
I want to know
Bit
what
aggressive.
specifically Hardballer said that drove them to that point, or if it was just everything, or if there was just one moment that Hardballer just went overboard.
There have been a few. There was a question we had that asked us, what do we want to get as our fourth item on our Christmas list? To which Yingity Yang, he said he would be happy with some socks as a fourth item, and I said I'd be happy with some really good shampoo. And Hardballer just was very upset by that, and he talked about how he wanted like 3 different guns. He wanted like a pet rabbit for his fourth present.
Wait, what?
Yep, yeah, it was
Rabbit?
That's a great question. That's a Hardballer question.
Hardballer has a cat and a dog.
Yeah.
I don't think adding a rabbit into that mix is good.
No, not at all.
I mean, there may be situations where people's dogs and cats like get along with a rabbit, but I would imagine that in a lot of situations they don't get along, and it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Hardballer thought too much into this past. I want a wabbit. That's just the only thing going around in his brain is wabbit, wabbit, wabbit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Hardballer, does 2 + 2 really equal 4?
I'm just going to question that base logic. Oh, man. Is literally Lenny from Of Mice and Men, someone said in chat. That's a little harsh. All right. There was a lot of really quick hits for the news. No real. I mean, I'm surprised with how much discussion we made.
Stretch that out.
Yeah, we definitely did. Great job, gentlemen. But let's jump into some new releases. It's still the beginning of the year, so nothing too crazy. I also didn't really look through Steam for any hidden gems too much, but coming out this week.
It's hidden gems is. Like at this point on Steam, you are an actual miner and you should get paid a salary to dig through the shit that is the Steam new releases page to find something that's not a joke.
Yes, there is so much absolute garbage on Steam. It is.
All right, I'll show it to you because I found this and I linked it in my Discord, but it was let's see, it was called Sexy Serial Killer.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yes.
Oh,
all right, I'm linking this into the Twitch chat.
I need this.
It is.
The blurb says your lonely dad has not dated for 3 years. You convince him to try a computer dating service. Unfortunately for him, his date is actually a serial killer. Can you save your dad and escape with your life? And this person is wearing a not a string bikini, but a thong bikini, and has actual water.
Okay. Play the trailer real quick.
Yeah, the trailer is so shitty.
Fred, he hasn't had a date in 3 years.
Oh,
hasn't spelled HASEN''T.
Wow, that is. And there's so much of that. There's also this game called Milky Boobs that came out. The description reads, "All the hot babes went crazy, and there's only one thing that can cool them down: your cool, thick, and extra juicy milk."
Oh my fucking god!
It is dog shit. Critical on YouTube, he did a video of him playing it, and it's somehow even worse than you expect. Something.
There's another one that I found called Neckbeard's Cuck Invaders.
What is this?
Which is just a Space Invaders ripoff, and it doesn't even have like unique enemy art to represent.
God.
To represent, and this is their words: kamikaze beta males and master cucks, and a dozen more special enemies, but they all just look like the Space Invader enemies. They don't look
Space
like
Invaders.
It's just Space Invaders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's insane. It's just, it blows my mind. Like every single day, I'm not even joking, like 10 to 20 games come out every single day on Steam.
Not
It's
only
crazy.
that, but the games will get put out like having a release date, but they're not actually on Steam for sale yet.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit. What, like the Sexy Serial Killer was apparently released on the 12th, but it's not for sale. It just says it was released.
That's what's kind of tricky about reporting some of these, is because like sometimes it'll say it's coming out at this point, or a lot of games are just listed under early spring 2018, but they'll come up under a certain date. You're like, okay, what do I do with this? And then sometimes the game will release at this date, and then a day the dev will be like, oh, sorry, we're pushing it back a week. Oh, sorry, we're pushing it back a week again. And so like for like 3 weeks in a row, you'll see the same game in like the upcoming game section. There's just a lack of planning, and
Yeah.
the amount of games in here. But there are a few hidden gems in here sometimes. Like there are some games that it's worth the sift through the garbage sometimes. I
think that Kamikaze Beta Males is a really good band name that somebody should take.
Yeah,
it's a very solid phrase.
Yeah, that is really good. But yeah, I was able to find one diamond in the rough this week, but other than that, nothing really good. So just 2 new releases. The first one being Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, which comes out January 16th. If you already own Street Fighter V, this is a free update, which will add a new story mode with many different modes to play through. And that it's like they finally added a story and an arcade mode, which with Street Fighter, it's almost like they're finishing the game, guys. It's crazy. Like the game hasn't been finished. Like and it adds a lot of new modes to play with, which are, you know, reminiscent of the older Street Fighters. A lot of rebalancing to the characters. Every character now has a second V trigger that you can switch between, and a lot of different UI changes. So it's a free update if you own the game, but if you buy the game physically, it comes with all the characters. Psych, it's just the same Street Fighter V disc, but it has codes for Season Pass. So big deal. You get the game, use the codes. You know, everyone's happy. Wrong again, fucker. You use the Season Pass codes. Here's what we did. I bought the Season Pass on sale. 2 of them. There are 2 Season Passes for me and my brother to play, which you on your PS4, because I have a PS4, because, you know, a fighting game, you want to get it on console. We use the Season Pass. We use on our PS4. It doesn't register to your Steam, your Sony account or whatever. So it doesn't get shared throughout the entire system. It gets shared to your Street Fighter ID or your profile, which means every person playing on your PS4 has to buy both Season Passes like every single time.
God, they found a way to get past you guys sharing games with each other.
Exactly.
They fucking won, and you're the loser.
I didn't think it would happen to me, but Capcom dicked me. I thought I could go without it happening.
Oh my god,
they got me.
That's actually awful.
It is terrible. Because I'm thinking, you know, Arcade Edition, this is perfect. I'm gonna have this just to take to people's houses, and we'll have all the characters. No, it's fucking stupid.
That is actually shitty.
But you know, I still enjoy some Street Fighter V, so I'm gonna play the Arcade Edition. I do like that all the new content is a free update, because, you know, it should be. So we're gonna get our hands on that on January 16th. Have some fun.
I just want Blanca back.
Oh, I can't.
I'm waiting for Blanca to release.
I've been
one of those
Blanca
guys
since the game, like before it came out. So ready. excited. But
You can shit all over me all you want. Take my season pass. I just want fucking Blanca, man.
I'll pay anything. Just give it to me. And another thing too, holy shit. And another thing people talk about, like you can get all the characters without spending any real money. Okay. Well, let's break it down. You buy them with fight money. You get 20 fight money per online ranked win. And a character costs 100,000 fight money to unlock per character. That's 160 hours of ranked wins per character. Why is no one talking about how shitty this is?
Listen, you can earn it in game with in-game currency. They're doing you a favor.
You are saying bannable things right now. That's a bannable.
Who needs more than one video game in their life?
Yeah, just play this. In perfect game. Okay, but next up.
I feel like video games are going to turn into private prisons where you get sent to these places and you're forced to only play this one video game. And you've got to go out into the yard and do work so you can unlock your microtransaction characters.
Oh, man. I could see it. That's another Black Mirror episode for sure.
Right, it really is.
Video game prison.
I'd watch it. It's like a Get Out parody. But let's see. Yeah, the Diamond Rough I found this week is called Inner Space. It is a exploration flying game set in the inverse, a world of inside-out planets with no horizons. And it's all about exploring, and it looks kind of story-based, but I'll drop a link to it in chat here.
I got it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But, I like the style of it.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Yeah, it's definitely looks like a much higher level of polish than you expect from a Steam indie. So really good stuff. This comes out January 16th, but there's no word on a price for it yet. There's a developer note talking about how they worked on it since back in college. They'd meet after class to talk about challenges in game design. We became fixated on one question: what would a flying game be like in a universe of inside-out planets? And to answer that question, we put aside our career plans to form our indie studio. That's how they made the game. So there's an interesting story behind it, which really makes it more meaningful to me personally. So this is definitely going on the wish list. Sure. So yeah, it's called Inner Space.
I just like the idea that they became fixated on one question. How did you get to the question of what would a flying game be like in a universe of inside-out planets?
Right, yeah.
Where did the roads cross?
Acid is what happened.
Yeah, just a round table.
Just looking at the game, they dropped some acid, and then here they are.
They turned on like Ace Fighter. They got fucking wasted, and they eventually played the game and got so wasted that it looked like they were flying in inside-out planets. Like, oh, I got the idea. Well, we got to think of something. We can't tell them that we just got extremely high. Oh, that's right. Our passion, our drive.
We just talk about it. Inside Out planets, or I've been thinking about Inside Out planets since I was a child.
It's like we all became fixated on one question we're extremely passionate about: what flavor burrito you would be if you became a burrito. To this, we left our wives. We like, who are you fooling here, dude? Come on. All right, yeah, Inner Space, January 16th, definitely that one. We're gonna jump into some viewer questions before we close out the cast, and we're doing things a little differently here. So first off, we've got a question from Love Muffin. Love Muffin, known for being the incredibly talented author behind the KBMOD screenplay, which has made us buckle over with laughter many, many times. But today, he sent us something a little bit different. And I don't mean any judgment, but it's been sent to us, and we're going to read it. I don't know if either of you want to read this, but...
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You've got it, man.
All right. Well, this comes to us from Love Muffin, just emptying his thoughts to us, which we really appreciate. He said, I'll try to read this as written, as Brandon would love me to. He said, Yo, KB Moms. One Tim I furted, and a swear came out. Should I wear diapers? Also, I ate some tacos. I got comma A, go, fast food, capital L, lettuce, necessary from Love Muffin. Now the thing is, I'm not expecting laughter, not expecting smiles. Our baboon minds are not advanced enough to understand the humor of this question. So maybe one day we'll have to come back to this question on maybe 2030. You know, by that point, humor would evolve. Because right now we're looking at memes and it's like Tide Pods. That shit is funny now somehow. How the fuck? This is definitely going to be like a real hoot and holler of a question. About 50
I
years.
think this is meant for our mothers. Yo, KB moms. I think we're supposed to ask it to our moms.
We don't have the necessary information to answer this question.
Right.
I'm not. That's as far as I got. I'm not gonna try and dissect it anymore.
He sounds like a living Ugandan Knuckles. That's about right.
No.
But yeah,
No.
Love Muffin. Thank you for the submission. Yeah, I dislike it, so it's fine. Thank you for the question, Love Muffin. Let's move on. Eco Official. He asks, if you could make a reboot of any game series, which game/series choose? Simple question, but we haven't had you gentlemen on the cast in a while, so I figured we'd get some hot takes. What we want rebooted. Me personally, I would want to reboot Battlefront 2. I think it's time. I think it's time to take another look. Not at the original Battlefront 2, at the new Battlefront 2. Because what the fuck is that?
Boot that shit.
Yeah, it started all over.
For me, like, are we doing like a reboot or like a remake or remaster? I guess it'd be,
You can change as much
reboot
as you
would
want.
be a remake. Probably the Legend of Dragoon game that was on PS1.
Ooh.
Very solid JRPG.
I never got through that, but I did own it.
It was I mean, I never played Final Fantasy VII. I watched it being played by a friend, but to me, I like the story in Legend of Dragoon a lot better. I like the combat in it a lot better. I would love to see like a modern.
When those came out, that came out like 99 or 2000.
Yeah,
so,
it came out like right around the same time as Final Fantasy.
I was like 10, so a turn-based RPG was, I don't know, above my fucking head.
Right,
yeah,
back then.
But the way they had like the system was like obviously like your magic attacks and all that stuff, but like they had kind of like it was like a timing combo system in it where you had like hit the button at the proper spot and like you would continue your combo like of your attack more. And I thought that just was like super cool. And I love the story of it. And I feel I think if they like made a modern version of that, obviously like on a modern like Unreal 4 or even Unity, fuck it, I don't give a shit. Just give me some modern graphics on that game. I think it'd be pretty sweet.
Okay.
Some actual voice acting, you know.
Right. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be killer. Sham, anything come to mind?
I'm. If you have an answer, I'm still trying to think of a really good one.
Yeah, I'm
if
thinking.
You get an idea.
Yeah, I've got a couple that have come to my mind. Immediately, I think, and this is gonna bring up some sad memories, but I would love the Silent Hill reboot that we never got, which we'll never probably never get. But I would love to see. Shit, I had it. In Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, which I played a lot when I was a kid, they had this chow garden like kind of kid raising mode in that game, which I was addicted to. A lot of people, it's kind of like a cult like following of how many people are dedicated to that. I would love to see that kind of remade into its own standalone game and have maybe like more online connectivity, make it maybe MMO sort of. If it captured the same feel. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. Yeah, I mean, if it captured the same feel as like the GameCube ones, then yeah, I would love that. I'd put a lot of time into that for sure.
I feel like I want to know what it would be like if David Cage went back and took one of his first games. Let's just say Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, because that's pretty far back, but is indicative of the kind of games that he ended up making.
Absolutely.
Fahrenheit was the first one that really sealed the deal. I want to know how he would revamp, not like remaster it. I want him to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way to make Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy a better game. In his mind, rewrite it. And if it would turn out just as fucking terrible as it is now, or if he
Yeah.
would somehow improve it. Probably not, because he never got any better at writing video games.
Right, yeah.
But I do wonder if he ever thinks like, I wish I had another shot at Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy to really tell the story that I wanted to tell.
That's really curious.
I feel like I didn't get it right the first time.
Yeah. That's another game I haven't played, even though I played Heavy Rain, I played Beyond Two Souls, but yeah, that's
Dude, you have to play Fahrenheit.
Oh,
if you've played those two, you've got to go to the OG.
Because for me,
I mean, there was a game before Fahrenheit, but Omicron is not particularly the David Cage model that you're used
really?
to.
Okay.
It actually had gameplay. It had shooting gameplay and melee combat. So that was before he went a whole hog on the interactive movie type thing. So Fahrenheit was the first one to do that, and you should absolutely do it. Have you ever seen it? Have you seen through the game and
I think
like
I've
know
seen
the story?
like I don't know anything about the story. I've seen clips of it. Like I really
God damn it. I wish I could be in your shoes to experience that for the first time again.
It's really that bad. It's like so
it's
bad.
So
it's good.
awful.
Oh wow.
I've never played this. I've never played Deadly Premonition, not without trying, because I really want to play Deadly Premonition, but it just doesn't work on PC. I have it on my PS3, but I just have to.
That game definitely needs a little polish.
yeah.
I mean, because I love the game.
One.
I never beat it, and yeah, it's partially because it's so difficult to fucking play.
Yeah.
Even as someone who enjoys the storyline and just the whole vibe of the game, it's really hard to get through because the fucking performance is so bad.
I know that's
everything is terrible.
I got to the end of the hospital.
The mechanical parts of the game.
I got to the end of the hospital. My game just did not work after that.
Yeah,
I'm like, it was enough though to I need to go back and play it on my PS3, but I just know it's gonna be even worse on my PS3 just because it's gonna be 10 frame rate.
Definitely. All right. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely gotta check it out because I've throughout Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. I mean, I enjoyed playing them, but there were definitely some little David Cage trademark questionable things that would happen. So
well, because he's French and he's a white man, and he constantly writes about American-based stories.
Yeah. And
he also doesn't seem to have a lot of experience with non-white people. And when he writes characters that aren't white, they're really, really bad tropes.
Yeah,
like hey, you played Heavy Rain, so you know that in Heavy Rain, the only real black character is a crazy criminal who tries to kill the FBI agent, Mad Jack.
Right, yeah.
The only other black character other than him was just a guy who worked at a graveyard who's there to just tell you a story. He doesn't mean anything. He's just for exposition. But in Fahrenheit, you've got a black character, and he loves basketball. He loves Motown records.
Come on.
And he walks with a lean.
Oh, so oh my fucking god, really?
So
Lord.
He's capable of doing one thing, and that's not doing the right thing. Doing everything wrong.
It sounds too good to pass up. Like this is I've always seen people get really, hate on David Cage, but I personally haven't experienced it. Because mainly I haven't heard the criticisms that you just said before, but it sounds like I've got to play Fahrenheit. Just the amount of
because then Beyond Two Souls had the whole white savior thing with Jody going to the fucking Native American thing.
Yeah,
and,
I was gonna
getting rid of their spooky ghost that's been haunting them
because of course
forever.
They do.
And it's oh great, this white lady just showed up out of nowhere and just saved us all from this ghost.
And then the stuff in Detroit, he's trying to tackle abusive father.
Yes. Oh my, Detroit is also about racial tensions. I mean.
Yeah.
The game is set in fucking Detroit. Okay? That's a very large black population.
Oh,
something that David Cage personally has no experience about. This is why people tell you to write what you know. David Cage, I don't think has a fucking inkling about American racial tensions. and it's going to blow over really poorly when this
Right.
game comes out.
That being said, it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to play the interactive movie.
I can't wait to play
David
it.
also said that this is not a direct quote, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he was saying that he doesn't really think that his games have a message. And okay, if you're like, especially if you watch a trailer from Detroit, like it touches on artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence going to the point where they have feelings. And there's also language of this AI essentially being slaves. They call their owners masters at points.
Yeah.
So he's going down that road.
Yeah.
But then says that it doesn't. No, please don't hold me responsible for this. Is basically what he's saying. Is like, no, don't. I'm not trying to do anything at all. Please don't talk to me about this.
Oh
Lord.
my god. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to play Detroit. That's one of my most anticipated games because
That
Yeah,
is
did
my
you,
most anticipated game of this year.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
cool. Did you see when they did the live playthrough at PSX?
No, I actually.
Oh,
well,
man.
I may have, but it's been a while, so I don't remember
Yeah, it was-
if I
it was
saw
in,
any of that
December.
demo footage.
Yeah, they played it on stage. Like they played through the entire
Yes.
section, and yeah, it was really. They were
Because
like,
didn't it end on like the roof and there was
The
like
hole and stuff.
right, yeah,
yeah, okay. I
And it
think I
was
saw it.
cool.
It's just been a while and I don't remember the whole thing.
yeah, and the crowd
I'll
was
have to
yelling
rewatch
which
it.
button inputs to do. It was a
Yeah.
pretty cool experience, but I mean, it was like a live Let's Play pretty much. But yeah, I'm excited for that too. But so yeah, let's see, where are we? All right, last question before we switch it up a little bit from I think that's Asian Pikachu. It says, are betas the new demos of the future? And I think
Well,
that's
I think
really,
that, I mean, for the most part, they already have been. At least
Right.
multiplayer stuff. That's basically what a beta
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
A demo
Most
and
of the
stress
time.
test. Well,
Like,
yeah, when they're not just used as promotional material
Right.
literally a week before the game comes out.
Yeah,
If it's
like,
an actual beta, it's a couple of months to more, well, even longer than that away to be able to iron out what they find when it's tested by that many people.
right.
But I mean, you see a lot of AAA stuff that is very highly budgeted. Like, here's our open beta for 3 days, and the game comes out a week after that, and that's not what I would call a beta at all. It's not meant for testing anything, unless you're just except for maybe some stress testing on servers. But that's not really like something that needs to be done for a lot of people these days. It's like Call of Duty doesn't need to stress test servers anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, I
Like,
had this discussion this morning whenever I was playing Fighter Z on my morning stream.
mm-hmm.
Like, someone was like, does this turn you off from wanting to play the game? I'm like, no, because like it's advertised as a beta, and I feel like this is an actual like beta because, as I mentioned earlier in the cast as well, like Arc System has never made a game that has this much hype behind it.
right.
So they've never had to deal with like server stress and servers going down and stuff like that. So it serves as like a kind of like they're setting the bar for themselves to know like how far they can take their servers before they break. And it's also helping them train on how to react to this shit if it were to ever happen again,
Yeah.
like when the game's released. So I feel like the Fighter Z beta is an actual like beta, but like you said with Call of Duty or Battlefield or like multiplayer games that release yearly, when they come out with like a beta weekend, they know their servers are going to be fine. They know what to prepare for. They know
It's all
shit's going
hype,
to work.
baby.
They're just building hype behind their game. But like with fighting games, I feel like, especially with this one, they're getting ready for the server wise, and then they can throw in balance changes before a game releases, because Fighter Z releases in 12 days, something like that.
Yeah, 12 days. Yep.
So like they can even throw in some balance fixes before then, or a bug could pop up with a bunch of people that have their hands on it. They could possibly they might not be able to fix, but they have an eye on it, and they'll say, "Hey, we are aware of this. We're going to be fixing this in this time frame." But
Stuff
most
like that.
it's I guess it's situational, because like with nowadays there's a lot of early access, which is like those are technically alphas and betas, and they aren't like free, but I mean it's kind of like it's tough to answer that question.
Also, these
because it is
days,
a
I think that
situation thing.
for single player games, demos still have some importance. And Wolfenstein 2 is like the perfect example of that, where they released a demo after the game was released because of their crashing problems,
Right.
that they let people go through the first level of the game for free. And that's essentially just so you know that if you buy the game, you can fucking play it.
Yeah,
Even though you can still have problems after that. I think most of the issues stemmed, like mine, were just right in the beginning cutscene. And it was a hard crash, and it was at the same spot every time. And there was no way to get past it. So I had to refund it. And I haven't repurchased it since.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's too bad about that. And I know Bethesda has like done that more than once, because Evil Within 1 and 2 both did the exact same thing, because like both of those games have had pretty shoddy PC performance. So I was gonna say, yeah, Tim, you're talking about like Dragon Ball FighterZ, the importance of like finding out like game breaking stuff like that, or like balance changes. That really makes me wonder like why they didn't put in a training mode in the beta, because if people got their hands on that, they'd be toying around, and what if someone finds like an infinite or something? That's like, I mean, prime beta. Like, beta's the perfect time to find out about stuff.
Game
like
as crazy as like a tag fighter.
Yeah,
you almost kind of want crazy shit like that, because it's bound to happen. It's bound someone's gonna find that shit, and whether they decide to let it rock or not is up to the community that plays the game and developers themselves. They may not have had it like made it intentional, but like Marvel 2, now this is way back before there was patching and all that stuff. Marvel 2 had infinites out the ass, but people just rocked it. And, you know, if you got hit to the point where you got put in an infinite, that's on you. Learn to deal with it. It's kind of like their mindset. The reason why like they don't have the training mode is because they want to push people to playing online, to stress a server. Like the idea of this beta was not to like have people play the game and try it out and like test things in training mode. It was to break their servers. That was the whole reason behind this test. So that's why they didn't throw it in a training mode. They even said so. Like if they had a training mode, probably 30% of the players would just sit in the actual training mode,
just learning the game
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't want that. They wanted people actually playing online or trying to play online to push the servers.
Okay.
So
gotcha. All right.
I mean, as long as they make their point about that, then it's fine. And I mean, like for a multiplayer game to run a beta with a specific goal in mind is good PR, especially if you pull. I mean, it's a double-edged sword where if you don't pull off the fixes that you need, then people will be like, well, then what was the fucking beta for, dude? Come on, you're not capable of giving us a goddamn game that works. Exactly. But if you get it right, then you're perfectly fine, and you're probably even better off than if you released. I mean, you definitely will be better off if you released. You had server instability issues and then fix them later. If you do that during a beta phase, people automatically in their head are like, yeah, it's fine. You know, the game's not released yet, and they'll write it off. It's just the way that people work.
I mean, there's too many games that have been dead in the water because they had server issues on launch. Look at WildStar. Like, look at any MMO that's not around anymore, really. WildStar is a big example of that. People were hyped as fuck for that game. And people will say, oh, it just was too much of a grind, but it was really the server issues that turned people off from that game.
Well, for me, it was. Leveling took so fucking long. I never got to max level in WildStar. I got to 30.
PvP was the way to do that in that game, apparently. It was so much faster. I
loved that world. And the music and everything surrounding it. And I just could not fucking drag myself on to get to level 50. It was too much.
But there was the server issues persisted for
they were pretty bad
while on that game, and a lot of other ones like Conan Exiles and that first. It's still early access and it's a lot better now, but there was a lot of hype behind that when it first came out, and then the server issues out the ass, and it's just you can just go through so many online only games and you can point to like why are they still not around. Because they just released and with no sort of really understanding of how to
lost their momentum.
Yeah. WoW's the only one that can battle through it because it's WoW. Every expansion. It's the only one that can battle through it, and it's just because it's running the name of World of Warcraft now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not online only, but Dark Souls has pretty much, I mean, throughout the entire series, the PvP has had pretty shitty netcode. Like even in 3, considered like despite it being very well populated, like having a dedicated arena for PvP invasion spots that allow people. There's still so many issues with like phantom range, where like attacks that are far away will hit you, and that's another thing about the Dark Souls remaster. They're saying they're actually gonna try and do dedicated servers for PvP this time, which I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, baby, because that game has never had good netcode. That series,
Yeah.
I mean. So hopefully we'll see. Yeah, great question, Pikachu. Thank you. And so yeah, for the pull this back up. So we did something a little different this week. When we tweeted out the stream, we wanted to hear more from you guys. So we put a question on our Twitter, which was, what games are you most excited for in 2018? So let's read through a couple of responses real quick. First one was from Mac, iMac_AI. He's looking forward to Ooblets. Have you guys heard of this game?
Yep,
Ooblets,
that's the
that's Pikmin, right?
Yeah, Ooblets is the. It's not Pikmin. It's more Animal Crossing. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're a
okay.
memer now. No.
Double
No,
Fine
I was
game.
just trying to think of the game that like looked most like.
Oh
to me.
yeah. Yeah,
That's what we do.
It's an indie game that's really reminiscent of Animal Crossing. Some cute little aliens, but yeah, that looks. We're gonna.
No, it looks
really
fucking
good.
adorable.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I have a friend in like my friend group, like IRL, who is really diehard into Animal Crossing, and we all, when we saw footage for this, we're like, yep, Austin's gonna be all over this. He's so into the stupid Animal Crossing. He'll put something in the group chat we're all in and say like, all right guys, I'm headed to the club, and I'll put like a screenshot from the 3DS game of him like next to like a disco ball in Animal Crossing, and or he'll be outside and be like, man, it's so hot, guys, and he'll put like a screenshot outside his house, like, Austin, fuck off. So yeah, this game looks really right up his alley, and it looks really fun. I have a friend in California who actually, they went to like the game expo. I completely spacing what it was called, but it had a lot of indie devs. Ni no Kuni 2 is playable there.
Probably called Indiecade. If it's in Los Angeles.
I don't know. I think it was like something like Games of the Dead or something, like Gaming of the Dead.
There's plenty of stuff out there. I just know that in LA I've been to a thing called Indiecade before that had a lot of stuff like that.
Gotcha.
1 year.
Yeah, he got to play a demo there, and he was really happy with what he played. It was really fun and chill. You see, it's gonna
Day of the Devs.
Day of the Devs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Awesome. Yep. Yeah,
that makes more sense than Day of the Dead.
Yeah, that was my bad. But
makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it does. Also, some more games. PD Skeety's looking forward. I'm sure this is a troll because it's PD Skeety. He's looking Soda Drinker Pro 2049. Now,
wait, is that actually a thing?
I'm not sure, but I really hope it is. I'm gonna Google this. Soda Drinker 2049.
Not on Steam. Yeah, maybe you'll find something on a Google search.
It's probably a PD might have been made it up, but yeah, get my hopes up like that. Because you get to drink a lot of soda and sometimes a little bevved up. If I imagine the soda, seminal fluid. All right, PD. Thank you for that. I probably should not have read that live on air. Let's move on. Bustler Hustler, which in the past has proven to say things even worse than so. A little hesitant to read this, but it looks tame. He says he's looking forward to the Dark Souls remaster. He wants a good port. No faith in Borderlands 3 after the blunder that was Borderlands the pre-sequel.
And is that coming out this year?
No, he said he followed it up with if it's a 2018 release.
Have they even announced it?
They haven't announced it, but they have been showing off like new cell shading, like graphic demos, saying this is for our new game, and it's pretty much, like it looks like Borderlands art stuff. So they're definitely making it, but that is a hot take. I don't know if any of you guys played the pre-sequel.
I started and then
no, I never did.
No, okay.
Then it didn't continue.
No, yeah, it didn't really grab me, but I mean, it was just more Borderlands. I feel like first Borderlands was definitely this one series.
I don't know. Like I liked Borderlands 2 a lot. Like
yeah.
Borderlands 1 was good, but then Borderlands 2 took what was great about Borderlands 1 and just improved on it and just made it better. And then gave you an actual story to care about.
Right.
Because there
right.
wasn't really a story or a point to Borderlands when they just open the vault. Oh shit, you open the vault, look at this big ass monster. And scene.
I mean, there's a
And that was
twist. There's a twist there. The thing for 2 is
that.
just the opening level is just so long and takes so long to be done with, like the whole ice level. Like 2 just didn't grab me as much as 1, but it might have just been because it
Feel on
wasn't as fresh and exciting as 1 first came out. I'm seeing in
Yeah.
the chat that pre-sequel is made by a different dev team from Borderlands 2, which explains
That
some
makes
things.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like a Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 kind of jump. Just, same exact thing, just a little bit different. But yeah, thank you for the answer. Also, Mitchie Legend, he's looking for the new Assassin's Creed. Follows that up with El Capap, which, sarcasm. And finally, I am the Seth. Said he's looking forward to Donut Country, or I think it's Donut County. Not sure.
County.
But it's a game where you play as like a hole in the earth. It's an indie game, and you move around and try to devour
right.
everything. See.
They showed that on
okay.
PSX. Yeah.
Yeah, Donut County. Yeah, it's coming to Steam. It's a physics adventure game where you control a hole in the ground. Every time you swallow something, the hole grows a little bigger. It looks a little out there. But it looks fun. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
It does look really neat.
Yeah, great style to it.
To the wish list you go.
You've made it.
Congrats.
I think that's gonna do it for this week's episode. We don't have an iTunes.
We're not gonna go over our personal.
Oh,
20.
I'm sorry. Did you?
Well, I've already
tweet?
said mine was Detroit.
Yeah,
Right,
I think you did.
No comparison.
All right, Tim. Let us know. Enlighten us.
Well, I mean,
I think I know what the answer is, but
it's gonna be Kingdom Hearts 3 until it gets
Really?
delayed to 2019. Then it'll be I guess this year.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the delay to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
That's my most
Pretty much.
anticipated delay of the year.
right.
As of right now, it's still Kingdom Hearts 3 is still coming out this year, and that is my most anticipated title of this year. If it gets pushed back, it'll be after Ni no Kuni 2, but Ni no
Right.
Kuni 2 would probably be my most anticipated title.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni
This year.
2 is pretty safe bet, viable. I mean, it's already been delayed like once, but it's definitely gonna come out this year.
Yeah, no, it will.
Yeah, but I can't wait for 3. I just and also the I'm not sure that it's probably not gonna be released 2018, but the Final Fantasy VII remake is looking a little promising. I'd like to
Once
try that
once
out.
3 is released, that whole team's shifting over to Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Okay,
So-
good. I'm excited for that as well. All right, gentlemen. It's about that time. It's the end of the
It's
podcast.
about that time.
It's close to that time. Yeah. But no iTunes review this week. If you'd like to be featured on the podcast, you can leave us a review at iTunes. Only stipulation we ask, you can say anything you want about the podcast. If you love it, hate it, doesn't matter. Leave us the review. We only ask 5 stars. That's the only stipulation. Your chance at internet fame to such a niche group of people. You can do that through the iTunes podcast review. So definitely let us know. What do you think about the podcast? Witty comments, insightful, whatever. Doesn't matter. Let us know. 5 stars. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up this week. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 307. For all the best PC gaming news, reviews, and this sexy podcast, make sure you go to kbmod.com. And we're also active on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. And yeah, if you want to follow any of us individually, you can follow myself at @KDZN_. You can follow AllShamNoWow at AllShamNoWow. You can follow Tim at StaffO'New. All of them on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Adios, my dudes.
Yatta!
Aw, damn it. I forgot about that.